So dramatic. 3, 2. All right, are we up and ready, guys?
Looks like it.
All right. For those wondering, we were all backstage colluding, figure out how to make charges on you guys. So apologize for being late. That's how cops we are. We collude with shit and stuff. So thanks to everyone for showing up tonight. I think it's kind of cool having just a Leo only panel. Give you guys a little background. I'm not a state or local. I am federal. Won't say who I work for. I'm not TSA though. I do carry a gun, a badge, and all that good stuff. I've been doing this for 17 years. I think Matt Noak got about 6 months on the job, maybe a couple of months longer. But I'll let them introduce themselves. Go ahead, guys.
Who wants to go first?
I guess I'll go first. So I'm a police officer in a local jurisdiction in the state of Georgia. I'm obviously not going to tell exactly where I am, but I've been on the job only for about a couple months, so I'm very new to the job. But I went to college for 4 years, headed that and did a unique program where I got my police academy training in college. So I'm a little bit different than a lot of people that get into law enforcement from that respect. So
I was only kidding, Matt. I'm sorry. I'm an asshole. And yes, Liv, you can pick your own charges.
Well, if Matt's done, I'm Officer Oak. Many of you know me. I kind of took a break. I've been busy on the job lately. I really haven't had a whole lot of time to come on, but I figured for Sancho, I'd come out of my mini retirement to have this law enforcement panel and say hi to everybody. Many of you know I was military police before this, before civilian law enforcement, and then I've been doing civilian law enforcement now for about 3 years. I did military police for 5, but here I am.
And just to get on the record, Sancho had to perform oral sex on Oak to bring him out of retirement. So give one up for Sancho. You got to do what you got to do for ratings, you know. So anyway, Oaks are Sancho sent us some pretty cool questions, I thought, for the night. Get off start with. I guess kind of just jump around. What's the number one misconception on police, you guys think?
That they're all bad.
Yeah. That we don't care.
Whatever bad means, we're all bad.
Yeah.
He brings tickets. Bad man.
Maddie, go ahead. I mean,
yeah, I definitely have to say that law enforcement is out to get you, that we're a bunch of tyrants and, road pirates, whatever else you want to throw out there, that there's, that we only protect each other and that we're looking to, kill unarmed people and everything, all other kinds of stuff. So just a little bit from the litany of things that people have misconceptions about, in my opinion.
Being the youngest out of the three of us, what do you, especially being so new on the job and seeing firsthand coming out of an academy, what it's like for a street officer, how does that affect you mentally so far?
Well, so far, it's a little bit, the job is stressful. And some of that stress, I think, is a little bit just because I've got a training officer, in the car with me. And so I'm really trying to make sure I do everything that he says and try to not screw things up. But I'm a rookie and, I'm new to this job, so I'm going to screw stuff up.
Oh, absolutely.
But I'm really loving the job as well, though, too. And I'm doing a lot of good things that, to help the community that I'm serving, that is the reason that I got into the job in the first place. So
that's awesome. I think one of the biggest misconceptions about officers is that we don't care. People don't realize that, especially you guys on the streets, you're the first ones out there. You're the ones running into the gunfire. You never see an auditor running in with this camera when there's gunshots. And I think the misconception is that we don't care. And like you were saying, Matt, that all we're out there to do is give tickets, pull people over, make them harsh, and run their lives. We enforce laws, whether we like them or don't. We enforce the laws that are on the books, and that's part of the responsibility. I listened to this one. He's basically a sob sit, John Felix, and It amazes me how they think that we just do this for revenue. One, we get nothing back from it. I don't know about your agencies. I know I work with a lot of state and local. There is no such thing as a quota. Now, granted, if you don't ever write a ticket, yes, your boss is going to say something to you like, "Why don't you ever break your ticket book out? What's going on with that?" But if the laws are if you don't break the laws, you can't get pulled over. It's pretty simple.
Right. I mean, the whole purpose of writing tickets is to gain voluntary compliance with the law.
Right.
Like if we just pulled you over and said, "Oh, you ran the stop sign, don't do that again," and we let you go every time, there's no repercussion for your action.
Right.
Then you're just gonna keep running the fucking stop sign.
Exactly. Well, it also cracks me up. I mean, everyone knows my distaste for Glenn. That situation he had in Portland a couple weeks ago when the cop was being nice to him when he was broken down, and he walks up, "Hey, what's going on? How can I help you?" And Glenn's instant dick. It's like, you guys know better than I do by far. You don't have to write citations if you don't want to. It is based on someone's attitude, how they respond to you. If someone's a dick to you, why are you even giving them a break in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, like my part of there's many things of why I wouldn't write a ticket or why I would. It just depends on the situation. But one thing that I do look at is, do you know that you did something wrong? Like, do
Yeah.
you understand that you messed up and you're not gonna, if I pull you over and you're like, "I didn't run that fucking stop sign. Like, I stopped," and I'm like, "Bro, I just watched you
Right.
run the stop sign. Like, are you calling me a liar?"
Right.
Like I didn't just pull you over for no reason.
Yeah,
Like, you ran the
exactly.
stop sign. So obviously now, like, okay, well, you want to argue about it? I'll write you a ticket and we'll argue about it in court. No big deal.
Yeah, and I know my answer to this, and I'll ask you guys first. When you do a traffic stop, because I don't do traffic stops regularly, because I've been out with state and local where we've done them. But when you do traffic stops, do you look for secondary offenses? Plain view, drugs, guns, knives, whatever you want to say. Do you look for them?
It's
That's
not.
mostly what I care about.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
exactly.
man.
No, go ahead.
It's not like Of course, traffic stops are primarily, of course, to enforce traffic law. But at the same time, if it's a good way to catch people that have got, like you said, guns or illegal guns, drugs, whatever else they've got in their vehicle, dead children,
Right.
just to name a few different
No,
kinds
you're
of
100%
things
right.
could be in
Yeah.
somebody's car. I mean, because you'll be surprised at how many people, especially even there's been plenty of serial killers that have been caught just on traffic stops and all kinds of dangerous people. So so when I'm conducting a traffic stop, of course I'm worried about you know either enforcing or trying to educate the public on whatever law or whatever I pulled somebody over for. But at the same time, if they've got other stuff going on, then I'm going to take note of that as well too.
Oh, exactly. And I mean, and going back to that, traffic stop wise, two of the biggest events in U.S. history were caught based on traffic stops. One was the Mir City, Oklahoma building being blown up, and the other was the first World Trade Center bombing. The guy went back and got his deposit back for a U-Haul, and the guy from the Mir building, he got pulled over, and I think he had some debt cord in his truck still or something. That's how they pieced that case together. So yeah, I mean, I think you have to look for secondary cases.
Yeah, I mean, every officer has the one that got away.
Oh, absolutely.
The guy that they know exactly who that motherfucker is. They went out and got the warrant on him, but he's on the run. And how pissed off would you be if somebody did a traffic stop on him and like didn't run him or didn't pay attention enough and
Right.
let him go? Like you'd be pissed.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
No.
100%. Kind of leads me to my next question, especially with Matt. Like I said, I'm not trying to single you out, Matt. Like I said, unfortunately, you have the least experience and you're the newest, especially with what is going on, and you're seeing it again. You both are seeing it firsthand. Goes into these two questions kind of go together. It's a suicide rate of cops and mental health evaluation for police. I think, like I said, I'm a lot older than you guys. I mean, but never be afraid to ask for help. Law enforcement has one of the highest suicide rates in the country. They have the highest alcoholism in the country. Yes, there's a high percentage also of domestic violence, not nearly as bad as these auditors like to say it is, but it does happen. And we have a morbid sense of humor, which is taken out of context many, many of times. But you have to do that to kind of distance yourself from it, and not keep this stuff inside.
When I'm not sure how long Matt's been on the job for, but when I first got into law enforcement, I read this book called Emotional Survival for Law Enforcement. Um, and I had my wife read the book because it's just me and her. But I would recommend every law enforcement officer read it and pass that book on to their family because it helps you understand what you're about to go through. I mean, mentally, like you're about to see a side of society that not many people are purview to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it can really fuck up your home life, and
Oh,
if you don't
absolutely.
understand the signs that are going on, you know, like these auditors, they like to joke and say, go beat your wife and this and that. I mean, not saying that that's what it always leads to, but, it could.
Oh,
And,
absolutely.
and if you don't, take care of yourself mentally.
And that's the thing. And unfortunately, especially a lot of the older officers and the older generations, even way before me, they didn't know how to do that. And that's why I think the stigma of domestic violence and alcoholism is so far out there. I know with my department that the big thing is they push very heavily for us to get help when we need it. We have EAP programs, confidential programs, and the big thing they push for us is don't be afraid to ask for help. I mean, you see the worst part of society, like you said, the worst part of society ever. You very seldom see the good humanity because no one ever calls you and say, "Hey, come over and watch this cool thing that happened with my kid." They always call you when it's the worst part of their life.
Yeah. And I mean, one thing I learned in the military, my sergeant major would say, hey, I'm going to fucking, because we had psychological, like you could go get help if you needed to talk to a psych or something like that, and it was free for military and stuff. And our
Mhm.
sergeant major would be like, hey, I'm going tomorrow. Like it was just so normal. Like your leaders would be like open about it. Like, hey, I've got problems. I'm
Right,
going to talk to the psych. Tomorrow. If you need help, go talk to the psych. It's no big
right,
deal.
exactly,
People are so quiet about it because they don't want no one to think that they're weak, but it's actually a strength to go get help. Um,
absolutely.
Another good thing I learned in the military was resiliency training. And hunt the good stuff. Um, Hunting the good stuff is like kind of like saying, you got to see the good things in society. Obviously, we deal with all the bad, but I've told this story before where I met this lady who lives in like the worst neighborhood in our city, and she's got a little pepper garden. It's like a apartments, and she's got like a pepper garden in the apartments. And she's the sweetest old lady. I brought her some soil and helped her with a garden a couple times because she's an older lady. And she can't lift that stuff. And you've got to hunt that good stuff and find these good people in these bad areas because there always is.
Mhm.
It's not, and even in bad neighborhoods, there's probably over 50% of good people who live there that are just trying to live their lives
Oh,
that are
absolutely,
surrounded by
exactly.
a few dirt bags.
Yeah, they grew up in that neighborhood, and unfortunately went downhill as they're there, and they're kind of
Yeah.
trapped in that. Maddie, what are your thoughts, buddy?
So the whole thing about the suicide rates. And I'm hearing Oak too as well because he's saying he was in the military. I'm assuming he's in the army just from the things that he said. Uh, so I have a but military law enforcement have extremely high suicide rates, and it's something that in the military they talk about a lot. I remember I was in ROTC for 4 years in college, and we had suicide training a lot. And I know other people that they said they had training for that as well too, to recognize the signs and everything. And law enforcement, so far, I've had some resiliency training, and I know that's a part of something departments try to do, and they push, hey, you guys can get help if you need it. And
Hmm.
so it's really sad to always, and it doesn't matter if it's law enforcement or just regular life, because I mean, suicide is the most preventable cause of death out there, and it's so sad when somebody who the signs have been there, and they get ignored, and then the person they take their own life. That's always a sad thing to see happen. Uh,
Absolutely. Regarding NJ Diver's question, I'll answer this first for myself. Does every traffic stop and warrant an NCI check? Absolutely. The only person I probably would not run NCIC on is my mother, and I might even do that. I mean, you don't know who you're pulling over. I mean, look at Jeremy DeWitt. I mean, this guy walks a walk, talks a talk, but he's a fucking moron. If you were just to listen to him, you would think he might be a real cop. Once you run him, you realize he's a rapist. He's a registered sex offender. He has multiple warrants. Blah blah blah. So yeah, I think every traffic stop, every encounter deserves NCIC, not just a traffic stop.
My training officer has instilled in me that you always, when you're interacting with people, that you need to run their information, like you said, because you could be talking to a serial killer, or you could be talking to a freaking, somebody that's got warrants out for a violent crime. You never know. So.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, it's kind of like guns, same thing. If I get a reason to get your name, like even if you're involved in anything, I'm gonna run you, even if you're a victim, and I get your information for a report, I'm gonna run you just to make sure. I mean, just like guns, like for me, like guns, I run every single gun I get my hands on.
Oh,
because more often than not, if it's in my hands, it's probably stolen.
Exactly. So. Well, also along the lines, also, I don't know what your guys' departments or agencies. A lot of times, so when an officer leaves the department, he may have lost his original set of ID, and he may have gotten fired for whatever reason, and still have his police ID. So, if I encounter an officer for whatever reason, do I run him? Absolutely. Whenever I've gotten pulled over, I expect to be run. I mean, it's just again, you run everybody.
Yeah, I think it was in Georgia. There's a video on YouTube. I think it was in Georgia. There was a cop that got fired. Because Matt, you work in Georgia, right?
I do.
Yeah, there was a cop that got fired from a police department, and he started up a security agency. And he got pulled over by an officer, and he was saying that he was still a police officer trying to get leniency. And he wouldn't say what department he worked for, and they wanted
I've seen that one. Yeah.
Yep, I remember that video.
Oh man, I forget I don't remember exactly what part of Georgia. It was somewhere over there.
It was Gwinnett, or I'm trying to remember. It was an urban area though.
Yeah,
it had
pretty
to be closer
recent
to Atlanta, but I remember seeing that.
It's happened in Florida too. I've seen. There was another guy who did he did funeral escorts.
That's Jeremy DeWitt.
That's Jeremy DeWitt.
Yeah, that guy's a fucking idiot.
Oh, he's awesome. He's the gift that keeps on giving.
He did something recently too, didn't he? He was in some other state on vacation with his girlfriend, and then he parked he parked in somewhere he wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, he actually was kind of screwed in that deal. I'll give him a little credit for that, but he overreacted. It was Chicago. It was last year. He got a Airbnb, and he rented it for him and his wife for that weekend. Well, the landlord didn't get permission for him to park his vehicle there, so the owner of the condo was having his vehicle towed. Well, fucking DeWitt goes off rails and starts throwing aluminum chairs from like the 6th floor of a tow truck driver, and he came down and badged himself like he was a real cop.
With a screwdriver, right? Or
with a screwdriver. No, I'm sorry. The truck driver had the screwdriver. He had like a pellet gun or something, or one of those OC guns, and badged his badge with his Metro State ID, which is an LAPD badge more or less. And the cops are going to cut him some slack because they thought he was a real cop. They're going to let him go, and they started talking more about it amongst themselves, or as the auditors like calling it, colluding. And they said, you know what, this guy's a fucking moron, basically, and let's arrest him. Yes, Glitterbug Motor won. So yeah, he is the gift that keeps on giving. He has something like, I want to say like 78 or 80 charges like pending against him right now in Florida, all over the place.
Because he was violating traffic laws.
Well, and do you know how they caught him? Do you know the story behind that?
His own fucking body cam.
Yes, that's what's fucking priceless. I just love
idiot.
that. So yeah. Back to Joe Cool has posted a question about they're teaching us about pre-crime. In a way, Joe, you're right. We do. We look for everything. We look for how somebody's standing, how their pants are hanging, how their arm is swinging when they walk. Are they guarding one side of their body? There's so many things that go into it. And I mean, if you don't do pre-crime, how do you stop crime? It's not Minority Report level by any means, but it's Yeah, I mean, we're looking for everything. How someone's gait is. Do they have an ankle holster on? You don't notice the little subtleties your body give away when you're wearing a weapon, or the clothes you're wearing for that matter. How your weapon imprints your shirt. Um, Most law enforcement officers, they can spot another law enforcement officer in a restaurant based on his boots, his jeans, his shirt, how many cover shirts he's wearing. I mean, there's a million different things. So I mean, we call it what you want. I mean, yes, we do pay attention to everything.
Yeah,
There's
that's something, something people don't realize. The thing about police, is we don't just take reports and go to scenes where crimes have occurred. We attempt to prevent crime if we can, because that way we can, prevent somebody from either getting injured or having loss of, losing money for damaged property or whatever. So if we can do stuff to prevent crime, we will, within
Right.
the bounds of what the Constitution says and everything else.
Ed just posted a really good one, and this will lead me kind of off the rails on this. It's Terry v. Ohio and Graham versus Connor. Sancho, can you put the Terry v. Ohio up from Ed2276, please, buddy? Thank you, sir. So I was going to wait for this one because this is my favorite thing from auditors, and that Joe Cool and I have had this conversation. Actually, and Joe was really cool about. He didn't know about this. Uh, Qualified immunity, the silver bullet. They think that's going to kill us if they get rid. I can't speak for you guys. I'll speak for myself on that, and I'll let you guys chime in, and then we'll go to Terry v. Ohio and Graham versus Connor. Qualified immunity, for those that don't know, is yeah, you can bring it backstage, Sancho. That's fine, buddy. Qualified immunity is strictly for civil actions. Basically, as long as I act within the scope of my job and I do my job thinking I did the right thing, I can make a mistake. But as long as I believe and wholeheartedly qualify that I did my job the way I was supposed to do it, qualified immunity gets me out of doing that. Now, with that said, most guys I work with, we carry our own liability insurance on top of that. Several reasons why. First reason I carry my own liability insurance is my department, my agency. If I carry my duty weapon off duty, they cover me 100% as long as it's a good shoot. I can carry any weapon I want to. I can fly with any weapon I want to. If I'm involved with something with my own personal weapon, they will not cover me. So yes, that's why I carry my own weapon or my own liability insurance. Second reason I carry my own liability insurance, especially right now in this day and age, if your department will try and hang you, I don't think they'll try and hang you to dry. If the opportunity is there, example, the two officers in Atlanta who the guy stole his taser and then tried to tase him with it, your department might be on the fence. They can hang you out to dry. And a legal defense for an officer's trial case is in the millions of dollars. I think anyone who does not carry their own liability insurance I think it's my opinion, is a bad thing not to do. Your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think you should definitely have it. You never know, when you're going to need it, and it if qualified immunity fails, at least you've got that to fall on. But I mean, with as long as you're doing the right thing, and society isn't pushing, kind of like it's been doing. If things work like they're supposed to, and officers do the right thing, and society doesn't, like, you can get rid of the qualified immunity, sure, and I'll have my liability insurance, which isn't a big deal. Um, it should work. If you shouldn't need to have liability insurance, but it's definitely a good thing to fall back on.
Absolutely.
My thing about qualified immunity is a lot of people don't, just like doctors, how they have tort and everything like that. They have qualified immunities to keep us from having frivolous lawsuits basically thrown at
Yes.
us. So that's the purpose behind it. It's not to protect us if we're doing something that violates somebody's constitutional rights, because that goes out the window as soon as you do that. It's so that we don't get, hemmed up in court all the time with frivolous lawsuits, because we've got to be out there doing our jobs. And also because, even with a lot of people, and this just goes for lawsuits, period, a lot of people, they don't have the money to fight civil litigation, so they'll, for a whole trial, so they'll just settle outside. So if you are keeping people from settling, uh, if people are settling all the time, that's going to really drain somebody, and so that's why qualified immunity is such an important thing.
No, you're right. That's a
Yeah,
very good point. I forgot about.
I thought about it, like just like the hypothetical, and I was thinking like, so like say I pull somebody over, they ran a stop sign, and like usual, they say I didn't run that stop sign. And I'm like, I fucking watched you run the stop sign, and now I make them late because I'm writing them a ticket, and they're late for to catch a plane, or
Mhm.
so they allege, whatever, and 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 now it's like, oh well, you owe me for a plane ticket, and I'm
Right.
going to sue you, and say they try to sue me,
Mhm.
and qualified immunity is gone, so they can now sue me for that. Um, and now I have to deal with that. Well, you know, what's to stop me from not countersuing?
Well, and that's what that case against Patrick is about. And it's an interesting point you bring up about these lawsuits. There's two good questions on the screen I want to come back to. One's from Joe Cool, one's from Jessica. Please don't delete Jessica's. Um, these lawsuits that these guys are getting paid out on, none of these lawsuits that they're winning on are lawsuits that are admitting, except for Eric Brandt. Eric Brandt did make change where now the departments are getting that department's getting body cameras, which is great. The one that Patrick won, there's actually, and I posted it last week on Discord or a couple weeks ago now. Patrick lost the lawsuit, or he settled the lawsuit with Ricketts when Ricketts sued him. Um, and Patrick has never come out and said how much he's lost with that. So the $50,000 that Patrick's getting, some of that money, well, 30% is going to his lawyer, and then another good chunk of that, I'm assuming, is going to Ricketts. The $9,000 the other guy got is just go away money. It's cheaper to give you $10,000 and make you happy and go away. So a lot of these lawsuits that these guys think they're winning these huge battles on, they're not winning huge battles on it. It's equivalent to pleading out your case and pleading guilty to it. They're giving you go away money just to shut up. Um,
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't hear. Hey, I can't hear
Yeah, I
Harry.
think Harry just cut out. Well, meanwhile we wait for Harry, let's look at this question. Can you guys turn in or testify against your coworkers without backlash? I mean, yeah, of course. Like if they're doing something wrong, you should, you must, you know, go. Like, of course, they're your coworkers or maybe your friends, but we do the right thing. As police officers, law enforcement officers, we don't break the law or break the rules. We or we so we shouldn't. And if something is happening that's wrong, we should be the first to point that out. And if you don't, then you're just as fucked up.
I agree. And I would say, and to answer Jessica's question, of every department, regardless of the work environment or whatever, they have a way for you to report something you see either to your sergeant or your supervisor, and then even to internal affairs. A lot of departments, they have even an open, what's called an open door policy, where you can go straight to either the chief or the sheriff, whoever it might be, and let them know if your problems aren't getting solved, because that you can go to that level if you need to. So now I think the personally, just because of the constant changing world and everything that we're in, I think the whole I don't know what to call it, because it's being taught. I mean, we talked about it the other day about how if somebody wants to report something wrong, there shouldn't be any backlash against that person. I work in a really small department, so that's unlikely to happen. But I could see it like a very big department, how, especially, people can get, if it's a really big established department, sometimes people get really harassed or whatever for reporting something. But I would say it's going by the wayside just because of the changing times and everything else, and people are being taught more ethics and more transparency. It's something I received a ton of ethics training when I went through. Now, granted, I was going through college, but I know they're trying to instill that more at departments at local levels anyway, too. So,
And there are
Sorry, guys,
departments
I
who
dropped
will
off.
like test your ethics. Like they'll what will they do? They'll leave like a wallet around the police department or
Mm-hmm.
something and see what happens with that wallet, and just make sure that there is and if there's a problem at the department, they'll do things like that. I mean, I haven't seen it at mine, but I've heard about it where they'll do things to test ethics and just make sure that officers are doing the right thing when they think no one's looking.
Absolutely. Can you guys hear me now?
yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear
I
you
hear you
now.
now.
Okay, sorry about that. I seen NJ posted a question. Do we have automatic weapons? We do. We have M4s. I don't know about you guys.
I mean, semi-automatic weapons, our SWAT and stuff. They have fully auto and
Mm-hmm.
all that cool stuff, but the regular patrol officer is not carrying around a fully automatic,
No, we
rifle.
don't carry ours around with us, but we have access to them if we need them.
Yeah,
I think I've heard of some departments. They're very rare. It's not
Mm.
because I remember being recruited by a certain department, and they were saying that that all their officers carried fully automatic weapons, which is extremely expensive and everything else. But it's like but typically y'all are all right, of course. No, a regular patrol officer is not going to have a. They may not even have a patrol rifle because you have to get certified in a lot of places with that rifle before you can have that. So
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the automatic weapons they're coming from leftovers from the military. Same with the MRAPs and stuff like that. And NJ, no, we don't are not required to have the Class 3 permit for those. And we have they are select fire weapons, semi-automatic or fully automatic, or so yeah. In that case, um, so
yeah, I'm sure the
someone else,
feds probably have more of the cool shit.
you'd be surprised. I mean, we do have some cool toys, but we also have some shitty stuff as well.
We're just getting a drone.
Wow. Okay. Well, all right. So you'll get there. Someone mentioned before about you got state and local being militarized, actually federal being militarized also. And I know you officers love this saying in this day and age. Yeah, I mean, we're fighting when a situation happens. You're going up against people with extended magazines and their weapons that hold, 100 rounds, 200 rounds. My duty weapon carries 17 plus one. So yeah, our goal, whatever you present, we want to one up that person. Quite honestly, that's kind of our use of force continuum. If you bring a knife, I'm bringing a gun. If you bring a pistol, I'm bringing a rifle, and it goes up from there. So I mean, and a lot of these MRAPs you guys are getting are from leftovers from the military. So now you're paying pennies on the dollar for them. So I say give you all the toys you can get.
Yeah, I
see,
mean,
oh, go ahead, Oak.
most of the time the patrol rifle just knocks around in the back of my trunk,
Right.
but if there's ever a school shooting or something crazy, I mean, do we have access to SWAT? Yeah, but do you know how long it takes SWAT to get up and ready and on
Yeah.
scene? Like it takes a minute. Most of the time, it's me going in.
Right. Liberty Bird's a good question. Does it intimidate you guys when civilians have better guns than you guys? No, not at all. Very few of these guys, most people who have these better weapons, quite honestly, have no idea how to shoot them. They kind of spray and pray. However, we want to at least be on the same level as them. I don't want to go to a gunfight with a Glock pistol when this guy's got an AR-15.
I mean, like, if Officer Oak was just civilian Oak, I would probably be better armed than my police department.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
I mean, I think Maddie and I tonight we were posting some of our pictures on our guns on Discord and stuff, and it's like, yeah, my personal collection of weapons, it's by far.
Yeah, the whole thing too is the reason also that we go so I'm trying to put a good way on this. Let's see. The reason that we do all this, we have all this equipment, we we can use MRAPs and different things like that, is it's all about officer safety, because in this day and age, it's very easy for somebody. In fact, my personal weapons at home, I've got armor piercing rounds in my personal weapons. I mean, a lot of people carry that stuff. They've got people have got all kinds of stuff, and then people that's legal, and then people also, they've got illegal firearms that are automatic, or they've got explosives and all kinds of stuff. So if we can have stuff to make us safer when we're doing something that's going to be risky, of course we're going to take that, because we're not. It's not a job that's very low risk.
No, exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, some of these tools, they're not so much so that I mean, me driving an MRAP versus me driving a patrol car. I mean, there's no difference. It's just now if you shoot at me, it's like, okay, whatever. Like, it's
Right.
just gonna bounce off my MRAP. It doesn't mean I'm gonna take a freaking missile launcher out of it and blow you up. It's just an MRAP. It's got metal around it. You could shoot it, and now I'm like impervious to your bullets.
Right. Well, it also gives you a chance, if someone's down, it gives you a chance to at least block them and get them out of that scene as well.
Yeah,
So-
it's more of a safety thing.
Right.
Now, instead of I can get much closer to you and try to solve this problem that you're having where you're barricaded inside of a house or whatever
Right.
with a rifle, now I can get much closer to you and see what you're up to before I decide what kind of force I need to use, rather than just sending rounds down range from so far away to handle a situation. Other things are we all carry pistols, but how much safer is it now that I have a patrol rifle?
Right.
And I mean, there's different rounds that you can get. I've done a lot of training on rifles. There's different rounds that you can get, and what I carry is I have my Hornady SSTs that penetrate walls and penetrate brick and stuff, and then I've also got my Hornady tap rounds that are soft tip and won't really go through much wood.
Right.
And depending on what situation I'm going into, if I'm going into school, I want my taps, because they're not going to penetrate walls and hit kids on the other side of the walls, So I got 2 mags, and I've got them labeled, and I know which one I grab when I'm going into a situation.
Absolutely. Matt?
Yeah. That's a great idea, and I guess your department's flexible on what ammunition you can carry, so that's awesome. NJ was talking. I saw in the top. He said everything changed after. And I know exactly what he's talking about, the North Hollywood shootout in California. For
The
people
bank
who
robbery.
don't know, yeah. So for people who don't know, there was 2 guys that had been robbing armored cars for months, and they decided, because the armored car they were going to rob did not come that day, they decided to rob the Bank of America in North Hollywood, and they went in and they got a bunch of money. Well, there was some cops that actually saw them going into the bank, and so they started out setting a perimeter. Well, these guys were carrying fully automatic AK-47s. They had armor-piercing rounds. They had an HK-93, and they also had a fully automatic converted AR-15. So they were loaded down, and they were wearing body armor too at the time.
High on
time-
PCP, their bullets were just bouncing
Yeah.
off.
Well, they took they weren't. It wasn't PCP. It was phenobarbital. So it was a barbiturate that they were taking.
Hold on one second.
Okay.
Matt, 1 second. Sancho, give us 5 more minutes, please.
So anyway, the cops, they've only got 9mm handgun Beretta. They got 9mm Beretta handguns, and they've got shotguns, and they're trying to shoot these guys, and they are they're spraying everywhere. They hit several civilians, and it's a miracle. The only 2 people that were killed that day were the 2 bad guys.
Yeah.
But several officers were injured, and during that whole thing, they actually commandeered a
Gun store.
Well,
They did.
they tried to do that, but they also commandeered an armored bank car, so that way they could go in and get wounded people out. So for people that are questioning, okay, why do we have MRAPs and stuff? Well, if somebody's got an area locked down, they're shooting, it's not and you need to get some wounded people out, whether they're civilians or whether they're, whoever. You don't want to go up there with your patrol car if that's all you got, if you don't have to. But sometimes you may not have your tools, and you just got to go up there and try to get somebody and get them out of the line of fire. But if you can, though,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
safer to have something that's going to protect you. So.
The last question before we bring up everyone on the panel to kind of unleash on us, because I know we're going to get a lot of hate, I'm sure, but thoughts on excessive force and going after bad officers. These two kind of go together. What people don't realize, and this is my experience, and I'll let Maddie and Oak chime in a second here. A lot of what you guys consider excessive force, 99% of it is not excessive force. When you are arresting someone, whether they're actively resisting or passively resisting, it's never pretty. It is what it is. We're allowed to, if someone is passively resisting, and we call it turtling up, they have their arms under them. Believe it or not, we're allowed to punch them, and they're called stunning blows, and to try to get them to free their arms up. So when you're making an arrest with somebody and they're fighting you, and you're like, why is there six officers on this one guy? It's not easy arresting somebody who is actively or passively resisting you. So you guys go ahead and.
Not only that, but it's safer the more control, in theory, I know there's been anecdotal situations, the more control that the officer has, in cooperation, the safer it's going to be for both, everyone there. If there's 6 officers there controlling one guy, we can go hands on and control this person with our hands. We don't have to tase them. We don't have to, do anything crazy. We can do this with our hands with 6 people, obviously. But in theory, it should be safer. So the more, say somebody's in a car and you need them out of that car. It's safer in theory for both people to get out of for both people if you get out of the car, because if you stay in the car, I don't know how quick you can grab something out of the compartment, or maybe you're just grabbing your phone and you hear it ring or you feel it vibrate. So you dip your hand into your pants or something like that to grab it. Obviously, like, situation dictates, but you could get shot. If I know you ain't got nothing in your pocket but your phone, then I don't care if you dip your hand in your pocket, because I know there's nothing there but your phone.
So one thing I'll say, just a quick anecdotal story. So when I was doing my academy training in January a couple of years ago, we did our defensive tactics, and our instructor had me and one other person attempt to put handcuffs on him, and all he was doing was passively resisting. He was not even actively resisting. And it took us probably, golly, I want to say it was like at least 10 minutes to try to get him in handcuffs. It was 2 people. So it's not as easy as people think to, get somebody, under control, even if they're just passive resisting.
No,
Now,
absolutely.
different departments have different use of force policies. They have different, things that they can and cannot do. So, like, for example, I remember seeing something, I remember seeing I think it was, I can't remember if it was Hoosier News Now or Indie News Now, where they were filming and the guy got tased on the side of the road. Well,
That was both, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it was both of them. Okay.
Yeah, it was Santa Claus videotaping Hoosier News Now. I still laugh about that one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So my department policy says we cannot tase somebody for just passive resistance. They have to be actively resisting. However, different departments may have different use of force standards. It just depends on the state, what the state laws are, and it depends on what the department policy is as well too.
Right. And no cameras are mass destruction. We don't go instantly to punching all the time. So you can have your misconceptions all you want, buddy. Think what you will. So with that said, I guess the people backstage are wanting to have a go at us and ask us some questions. And like I said, I'm not afraid to answer anything. Any questions you guys have, by all means, come on up.
Yep.
Release the hound, Sancho. Oh, I heard Joe Cool already.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Yep. I know that laugh anywhere.
Fuck, what are you doing to us, Sancho? Jesus.
He said, I know those people ready to have it. I know they ready to have a go at me.
Hey, Joe, you following me?
Oh man, I'm
Well,
so happy
nobody's
that she
talking,
was
so
great. I
I'll
don't even know
talk
who was
first.
that, bro.
Okay,
I'm the
Cindy, go ahead, dear.
flowers at the bottom. I'm Cindy. I have a question. I don't mean to be rude. Please don't take it rude. Is there not a
No,
policy
that's fine,
about
hon.
police staying in shape? How do you guys chase somebody if you're out of shape?
As you get
Some
older,
departments.
Cindy, some departments do, yes. But unfortunately, as you get older, gravity takes over and it's not as easy as it sounds. I mean, I definitely am not in my high school shape by any means. Um, and, you can't, we have rights as well. I mean, we have
I
protections from
never
our
thought of
unions.
that, bro. I'm glad I never thought of that. You are absolutely right. Just because a motherfucker get older, he's gonna get bigger, and you shouldn't necessarily give him shit about it.
Yeah, I mean, am I gonna? Quite honestly, I'll tell my age. I'm 53 years old. Am I gonna chase an 18-year-old for 5 blocks? Probably not.
Well, we have a couple of them that barely fit in the car.
Yeah,
But that's something different.
yeah. I mean, I'm gonna give you if I get in a fight, I'm gonna give you the best 60 seconds of your life, and hopefully my backup arrives soon. So, I mean,
So
it happens to all of us.
Cindy, I'll
Now,
give you something. So at a department, pretty much every single police department has a physical fitness test that you have to take. Now, of course, there's not really a standard across the board for how difficult or how easy that test is going to be. So some departments, the physical fitness test is going to be really difficult. Some of them, it's going to be easy. It really just depends. But and then some departments, you can take that physical fitness test once and you'll never have to take it again. And then some people require it, yearly. So I mean, again, it really just depends.
Just
From
depends on the
department.
department.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay, that's
also,
all I was
no, I
wondering.
understand, hon. And also on the federal side, a lot of agencies they have mandatory retirement after 20 years or 57 years old. So at 57, you have to have your 20 years in, and you're forced to retire at 57.
Okay, I was just wondering. Like I said, we have a couple that barely fit in the car.
No, I
I got
understand that.
I got a million things I want to talk to you cats
Oh, I
about.
know you do, Joe.
So if
Oh
somebody want to
boy.
go first, I'm gonna be here. Just make sure I get some time
Wait,
before y'all
wait. I
leave.
got a question for you, Joe.
Oh, fuck Liberty Bird too. This is gonna suck.
Joe, did you?
Okay, I'm gonna go down and let other people come up.
All right, Cindy. If
Hey,
you want to have more questions, please let us know, hon.
hey, Joe, did you have fun with Josh last night and with Omaha?
I was with on the panel. I'm about to say I was with them. Did I have fun with them last night? I wouldn't call it fun, but I certainly was learning shit, and I'm a hype for that shit.
Well, here's
So
my question. I got a question for you, Joe Cool. Who made Josh the union president of auditors?
I'm hearing that too. Apparently, he kicked somebody out or something.
Yeah, I mean, he's kicked Peachy out. He kicked the other guy out. Now he's kicked Floyd out. Who wouldn't he become
I
union
didn't.
president?
Apparently, I be missing all of that shit, Joe.
Yeah,
But I
yeah, you
heard.
guys don't know he kicked me out too.
Oh, bro, sorry. I mean,
No, is
see,
that
there's
true,
four.
Bird? Is that true?
I guess so. I mean, Liberty Bird. He says it. And I actually believe Liberty Bird.
How often
Bird,
do
he
I
kicked you
lie?
out, Bird? Too?
Dude, I've been banned from those channels, dude, for like months.
I just
Listen,
understand
guys.
that, but apparently he got Omaha believing that he has the authority to kick a nigga out the community. And he's
But
Listen,
Omaha bought that
listen,
shit.
and
listen,
Omaha.
guys.
That's what I'm
Listen,
saying.
guys. All right.
Yeah, excuse me.
Hold on, guys. Go ahead.
Realistically, is such a bad thing?
This is such a bad thing.
Listen. Rule number one of the auditing of leader is if you take him up on his if you take him up on his challenge to fight him, then you're done. Like
Yeah.
you're out of the group. You're not allowed to accept the fight.
Well, I think Bird was scared personally. That's just my opinion. I'm just kidding, Bird.
All right, fuck it. I'm impatient. Let me get into
Go ahead,
some
Joe.
shit.
Go for it, brother.
All right. It's gonna take a while. Be patient with me, guys. And if you don't know me, if I get emotional, I'm begging you to be patient with me. I'm working on that shit, but you know, this is important, and I appreciate it.
I
But
agree.
be patient with me. I'm a bit of a dick sometimes. All right.
I like Dick Joe. I think that's funny.
Ram, motherfucker, you. All right. All right. So let's go. Let's go with the first of all, start off with the weapons. Um, you guys want weapons to feel protected. Don't you want that for all?
Of course, I think everybody should have a
Absolutely.
weapon.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
But now, with that said,
If
though,
someone told
um,
you to take another man's weapon, would you?
is he convicted felon?
Oh, so the guy who tells you to go take that man's weapon, as long as he give you a reason, it's okay. He's
He's
gonna
talking
tell
about the
you.
red flag law.
He's gotta tell you. No, no, I'm not talking. I don't think I am. If he tells you he's a convicted felon, then you're willing to go against your beliefs that he should have his own gun. If he tell you he can't have a gun because he's in Illinois, you're willing to go against your beliefs to do that.
Well, hang on now, Joe. I don't think that's correct. All right.
Okay, okay.
I believe everyone should have a weapon, but there are people who shouldn't, and I think we all can agree there are people who shouldn't have weapons. There are like Dylan Ruth
I can
who
agree
shouldn't
with
have a
that, but
weapon.
let's not
You know,
hang around
Ian
extreme.
McGuire.
But well, I don't
wait, wait,
disagree
wait,
with
wait,
that,
wait, one
guys. But
second. I can agree with that. Let us
who
get to the
determines
meat.
that?
I can agree with that, but let's not hang around extremes. I'm talking about an entire state, or perhaps. You cannot have weapons. Surely you would fight for their right to have those weapons. You would never accept that order to take an entire state's weapons. That's absurd. Yes,
That'll never happen, though.
it's
yeah. I mean,
happened.
I
We
don't
can't
think.
have them here.
Yes, you can.
Oh, if we jump through some
So,
hoops,
Joe, that only
every
happens when the
man's right
sheriff
to
doesn't
have
do
that
his
shit,
job.
right?
Yeah.
If we jump through those hoops, period, I should have a gun. Period. I
I'll
shouldn't
give-
have to goddamn, excuse me, Lord. I shouldn't have to go through anyone else. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna back up, Bird, and let you get in.
No, let me chime in real quick here, Bert, on this, because I used to live in Chicago. I used to live in Mount Prospect, Joe. And one of my coworkers one time got stopped and did not have a FOID card. For those who don't know what a FOID card is, in Illinois, you have to have a FOID card even to buy ammunition. It's firearms owner identification card. So my coworker gets pulled over, identifies himself, and says, "I've got a gun with me." And the officer's like, "Well, let me see your FOID card." And the guy's like, "I don't have a FOID card. It's not my gun. It belongs to the government." The trooper was going to arrest my coworker because he didn't have a FOID card. Do I think there are laws out there that are necessarily stupid? Yeah, absolutely. But again, we took an oath to the Constitution and the state or the feds to enforce those laws. We don't
No,
agree
you
with
took
them.
no. You took an oath first to protect my rights. My right says you cannot even infringe on my ability to have a gun. That comes before all. So I don't
Unless
care if
it-
the state or someone and your boss or whoever
Mhm.
tells you we have a reason.
Well,
He's a
time
felon.
out, Joe.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a
You
mute. I'm
you can.
sorry.
I'm just going to go with a quick, simple fact that you may or may not be aware of. You can own a gun, even where you're at. You're just not allowed to own a firearm.
Clarify that for me, Burke, because that even confuses me. And
Oh, I think I know what Bird's talking about.
Black powder
Oh,
all
yeah.
day, man. Same thing that felons pull all the time,
Yeah.
man, and they get away with it.
who was that in
Black
Texas?
powder.
It was that Earl. He carries the black powder all the time. Yes.
Well, and the reason why is it's actually it goes as far back as pirate code, actually. So
Yeah.
the government cannot actually take away your right to bear a gun. They can take away your right to bear a firearm.
True.
Now that's a very important thing to understand because we all, as people, have the right to be able to do what? Protect ourselves
Yes.
and to protect our families. And I think that that's something that everybody, on planet Earth should be able to agree on.
Yeah. Did we lose Oak? I'm sorry.
Not
We
if
might
they
have.
tell you can't. You need a permit to do it. You have to. You can't.
No,
do it
no, Joe. What I'm
because,
saying is you can own a black
because
powder.
you
Joe, right there in Chicago, you can own a black powdered pistol, 50 caliber.
yes.
Okay. The problem is
Yes.
it only comes with one shot.
Let me
Okay.
yes. Let me ask you guys. Your personal weapons at home, are any of them black powder one shot muzzle loaders?
No.
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 No. All right. So that's not
I got two muzzleloader builds, dude, and then I got a black powder revolver with 6 rounds.
Yeah.
Hey, gentlemen, how about we let No Name get a question in?
Go ahead. No name. What's up, dear?
Oh, boy.
Bad choice.
As a female, having gun laws that are permissive are very much in my defense because you never know who's got a gun. It makes me much less of a target.
Absolutely.
And
I'm
it's
sorry.
not legally owned firearms that are a problem.
I
The
would
old
agree, no
boy
name, but here in Chicago, no name,
already
here in
should have been.
Chicago, here in Chicago, you can't own a pistol. You can't own a miniguns, and what you can go, you got to jump through 87 different hoops. You know what? I like to feel secure in my neighborhood. I'm in the worst secure neighborhood in the country most years.
That's
But you know what? Someone
all.
has decided that we are incapable of taking care of ourselves. We don't have the rights, and they would do the fucking job for us. Fuck that
But
shit.
what
Can I
happens
chime in?
now?
Can I chime in?
Have
Yeah.
the criminals have
Uh,
guns, and then we get Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, so
Whereas
like
here in
Chicago, I mean, am I
about
cutting somebody off?
homes have arms.
No name.
No, no name is gonna cut you off. No name. Be nice. When you hear other people talking, you gotta stop.
Oh, can you still hear, buddy?
Yeah, I'm still here. You hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. I got a question
Okay.
for Matt and Oak, actually, and Joe brought this up again. I'm kind of curious about it myself.
Can I finish my? I think so. Chicago. I mean, you guys have a pretty big crime rate. For having no, gun crime rate for not being able to have guns. And I think places that do have a lot of guns, places that do have a lot of guns have less of a crime rate
I would
involving
agree.
guns.
There's some reasoning to that. I would agree. They
I
know
think
they can
I
take
think
advantage of us.
yeah. I mean, I think there should be, I think everybody should be able to have the opportunity to have a gun. If you lose that opportunity because you fuck up and you become a felon, sucks to suck. You shouldn't have did what you did. I think there should be a process to get that right back. I don't think it should be forever. I think there should be
Agreed. Agreed. You
a
do
hard
your time,
process.
but you got to give it back to them.
Joe,
Agreed.
Joe.
Agreed. Yeah.
So I'll give you a fun fact. So in the state of Georgia, if you become a felon, you actually can have your firearm rights restored. You go through the Board of Pardons and Paroles,
Yeah.
and you apply to have your firearm rights restored if you become a felon, and that can happen. So
No, no, no.
Clemency,
I don't
right?
want
You
to hear.
actually
I
have
don't
to
want
have
to hear
clemency.
that can happen. I don't want to hear that can happen. I want to hear that must happen. That is his rights. They must be restored. That is the only true way to do it.
Some people never get better. Some people are always
yes,
scumbags.
and are we the judge? I think you're not right. You shouldn't have a gun. We can't go with that.
All right, so I got to pose a question here. So if you officers were to walk up on me doing an audit, right, or say I were to walk up on you, I got a firearm in my holster, on the hip side. I'm not interfering with your stop. I'm just recording from a safe distance, but obviously safety for officers becomes a concern suddenly, right?
Yes.
No.
So
it depends.
I mean, the thing is, hang on now. I think everybody, and I like to think everybody has a gun. Even if you don't got a gun, like you got a gun. And I treat everybody the same. And I frankly, if you do have a gun, I don't really care. Like just don't show me yours, and I won't show you mine.
Right.
Well,
mine's usually out in the open, right? Like I'm not pulling, but I think my question though is that so I've had a lot of these encounters, right, where officer safety becomes a concern. Multiple officers then arrive on scene. You got two officers watching me or watching 303, and at the same time they're not intervening or interjecting. Now, is there a difference between a scenario like that and then a scenario where officers start looking at me and then I look back at them and I'm like, I fuck bitches like you in prison. Now all of a sudden, do you think I'm a fucking felon in possession of a firearm, or
if you said you were in prison, yeah,
totally right.
Yeah, you just told me you were. It depends
Well,
on the
I wasn't,
situation.
but
No, I
you see
know.
my
I know
point.
I'm saying by your scenario. It depends on the situation. Every situation is not black and white, and a lot of times auditors, you guys want you want us to say everything's black and white for us. And I'm going to use the example of this weekend, the kid that was shot, and I apologize, I can't remember where he was shot at, what city it was, running at the officer. We did the video yesterday or Friday or Thursday.
It was Washington, D.C., right? Dion K?
Yeah, Dion K.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people like to talk about that and say, well, why is that different from the white kid in Kenosha who walked towards the officer with an AR-15 on his chest? I'm sorry, if you can't see the difference in those two scenarios, there's a fundamental problem with society. The kid was walking towards the officers with his hands up in the air, no threat whatsoever. The kid in
towards
Washington?
an MRAP. Even if he
Towards an
wanted to
MRAP.
shoot
Right.
shoot at him, it wouldn't have mattered.
Right.
Like,
Exactly. The kid in DC is running at the cop with a gun in his hand. Again, by watching the video and breaking the video down, it looked like he was bringing that gun around to shoot at the officer. Was he going to shoot the officer? I don't know. But you know what? I'm not going to wait. So he got lit up, unfortunately. So, every situation is not black and white. If you walk up doing I'm sorry, Joe, go ahead.
I was gonna say I would absolutely agree with you in that example there. It was I'd have shot him as well on the street as well.
Now, Liberty Bird. I'm sorry, Joe, because I'm going to go back to Liberty Bird's question before I lose my train of thought.
Go ahead.
If you walk up and you're doing your audit and you're being calm Liberty Bird and not being dick Liberty Bird and just sitting there doing your audit and talking to me and stuff in a normal voice, I don't give three fucks. If you walk up being dick Liberty Bird, being confrontational because you don't like me telling you to stand back by 50 feet or 25 feet, yeah, I'm going to call for some more units just to watch you so I don't have to watch you. It depends on the situation. James Freeman's a great example of that. James Freeman wants to be confrontational. If someone's confrontational with us, I'm not going to wait and see what your intentions are.
If your guy, while they're out there doing that, one of your guys get angry and throw Bird around, throw him to the ground or some shit, y'all got to pull him off.
Oh, absolutely.
They go back. No one puts that in the report. Are you going to be the sole motherfucker to put it in your report and tell everyone, hey, y'all need to put this in y'all report?
Yeah, because I have integrity. I'm
right.
not.
You know what? No, funny is I believe you, Officer Oak, when you say that.
And
I'm not.
I just ain't see nobody. I'm high as fuck. I'm sorry. I don't know.
No, I've seen it, Joe. I mean, you can find the videos, Joe, online. I mean, just as many crazy ass scenarios where we see cops making bad decisions. I've seen a lot of videos where cops have made some great decisions. In fact, some in which where they've even arrested cops for things like DUI or beating their wife.
But wait, did they answer my question, or did they just? I
think they did.
What was your question, Joe?
About are you that guy who tells everybody, listen, we got to get this report straight. We got to put this on, even if say he socked somebody or threw him around more than he should have. He did something that he wasn't supposed to. Are you that one guy that's going to stand up and when y'all go back, if everybody else is down with hey, we ain't got to say nothing about that, which happens a lot.
Joe, I want to promise you this. If I do something, I have the utmost integrity. I mean, I try to do everything right, but I mean, everyone has their moments. If I punch somebody in their face, I'm going to put in the report, and I'm going to tell everyone else to put in the report that I punched him as hard as I fucking could in the face, because I did. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm not going to lie.
Beautiful, baby. Around here, it's just so opposite. Maybe it's where I'm from and where I live. It is the complete opposite. We have the worst record for FOIA requests, for officer complaints. They got like almost 500,000 of them. They lost in court. Instead of turning them over, they say we're going to burn them. It's different here. Maybe I'm blind seeing it. I assume all you cats are like this.
The way I look at it, Joe.
Go ahead.
The way I look at it, Joe, is a liar in my profession is worthless. You can have them. I'll never defend a liar. If you make a mistake and you fuck up, you punch somebody in the face because you were upset or whatever. Is it a problem? Yes. Is it redeemable? If you tell the truth,
niggas should not be losing his job or no shit like that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if you tell the truth and there's a reason why you did it, if you made the wrong decision but you made a decision, and you tell the truth that you made the wrong decision.
Yes, baby. Hey, that go for shooting a motherfucker, in my opinion.
So now let me ask you guys this, because I've kind of been this one's kind of been bothering me lately just because of my recent experiences. So, after every incident, dude, reports go in, right? Officers write reports. It turns around. Anyone that responded ultimately writes a report, right?
It depends.
Then,
it depends on the situation.
Every time.
Yeah.
Okay.
There'll be something entered. It might be call for service, barking dog.
Yeah. But I'm saying if there's an incident, and then you have 3 on-scene officers, typically all 3 of those officers are going to write a report. Now, the problem that I've ran into recently, and let me just get to the point, is that my experience recently was that an officer exaggerated his experience, such as like he made comments such as he grabbed my wrist and then I pulled away and swung a baton at him. When in fact you can see clearly in the body cam that he grabbed the wand or the baton, right, that was holding my camera, and not my wrist, and he's the one that swung the baton. So, do you think that that's like? Do you think that breaks down to an integrity problem, or do you think that that's more of a in the moment I can't exactly recall what really happened because everything happened so quickly type of shit?
Both.
It could
So,
be either,
yeah.
but the thing is there are instances where it's cut and dry, like you fucking lied, you
Yeah.
know, and there are instances where it's like, well, you know, yeah, the body cam shows this, but we're not armed. You know, you can't really armchair quarterback things because we don't know what was going on in your head. What were the lighting conditions? You know, what was, you know, this camera can see better than.
Fuck that. Let me change the subject. Fuck that. We pussyfooting around. What about?
No, I mean that's good. That's good to know, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just kind of, yeah.
What
I mean,
about
hold
all
on one
these
second, Joe.
motherfuckers? Oh,
Hold on one
sorry.
second, real quick.
Okay.
Regarding the situation about reporting officers or how my report goes, my agency hammers on our head. You're always on camera, no matter where you are. We don't carry body cameras. We don't wear body cameras, but you have to assume you're always being filmed someplace.
I'm glad, and that's the way I try to live life that fucking way.
Yeah. Go ahead, buddy.
But okay. All right. So let's assume you're correct. You're correct. That where you are and what you see, and I would have no reason to not to take your word at what you say. In fact, I'm apt to believe you can't sound sincere. And let's say I'm sincere, and I know what I'm talking about, how corrupt it is here. So I have to think: is this nationwide? And I look at all these incidents that happen. Let's not go too deep into them, but all the different bad incidents. I'm only counting the bad shit that we've been seeing lately. This is all over the country. When these bad things happen, the surrounding group of cops, and there are many out there, give a sincere effort to tell the story the way they saw that story, and tell that that person did something wrong. Why? Where was all those cops in all those states calling out that wrong behavior? That's not just in Chicago. That's in other places as well.
You're asking us for hyperbole that we can't even feed into because we're not part of it. I mean,
I mean, but logically, I was trying to follow a train of logic here. Isn't it logical if their friends don't report and when all this bad shit is going on, then it's rampant?
What are you defining as bad shit? I mean, I guess that's my question.
Oh, okay. I'm saying definite misbehavior, like all these punching a nigga in the face. The police reports always say that the other guy attacked him. And then it comes out that it was obvious and that police lied. I'm talking about obvious examples.
Keep in mind,
where his friends were to point that out.
Okay, a huge misconception, and Oak and Matt, please correct me if I'm wrong, at least for us, the misconception is that we have to be struck to react.
Say it again.
That we have to be hit first before we can react to a situation. That's totally false. If you're walking up to me and your body language indicates to me that your fists are clenched, your jaw's tightened up, you've bladed your body and you're about to swing on me, I don't have to wait for you to hit me.
Okay.
I can strike you first, whether it be with my baton, OC, taser, whatever it is.
Right.
I don't have to wait.
Now, would you? Now, I'm kind of curious about that one. So, say someone took a defensive stance, right? Say that. Yeah, we'll try to make it pretty simple, right? Say that someone's suspected of trespassing. You may or may not know whether or not they are. You don't have any real proof, but you determine that through your discretion, you're going to arrest them anyways. You know what I'm saying? Fair enough. Okay. So through your discretion, you're going to arrest them anyways. That person then in turn says, you know, if you fuck with me, I'm gonna defend myself. And they take a defensive stance, not a, fist up to the face as a striking position, as an offensive stance, but rather a true defensive stance. Fist over the chest, one down below the waist. Defensive stance. At that point in time, do you feel that it's appropriate to use?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean. What I would probably do, I probably wouldn't. I mean, I'm a big dude. I could fight people if I want to, but if I don't have to, I really don't need to. I'm probably just going to pull my taser out and say, listen, put your hands behind your back and turn away from me.
Right.
You're under arrest. and if they don't comply, they're probably going to get tased. I mean, and they're going to have that option, and
Right.
they can think about it. And if they don't, they don't comply, it sucks to suck. But
You guys aren't going to like this answer or this statement. There's no such thing as a defensive stance against us. If you blade your body, you're putting your fist up. That's an offensive stance. We're going to react.
You don't get to kill a nigga over no offensive stance. If I kill a nigga over
I'm not saying about killing nobody.
in these streets, I would
No,
be
no.
under
I mean,
jail.
I hear what you're saying.
You
I hear what
got
you're
a
saying,
million
though, Joe.
reasons why y'all can do it. If I
No,
Joe, I'm
be
saying
under the jail.
So this the understanding is that if you resist arrest, period, it's against the law.
And they can kill you.
I've learned that recently, Joe. Like it's not just a secondary charge. It's literally, if you resist an unlawful arrest that's not deemed unreasonable or excessive. Now that's definitely definitions to play with later. But my point is that, it's still a crime, right? So therefore you can react.
Correct. And keep in mind, even like in your case, I know you carry quite often. You carry open carry, live to bird, and you have weapons usually. Let's say you don't have a weapon. Whenever we go into a situation where we have to fight, defend ourselves, there's a minimum usually of 3 weapons involved already. Our sidearm, OC, and our baton, and in some cases a taser. So I mean, let's say you get a punch and you knock me out. If someone's willing to fight an officer, what else are they willing to do? They're not my friend.
Girl, who is you? Fuck does that mean? Who is you? If they want to fight a citizen, that's more important.
Is someone
Fucking
blowing?
officer, what if you're not
Joe, you need to cool your shit and think about the point that he's making. Joe,
girl, I see the point that he's making.
No, do you really? Because no, I understand this, Joe.
An officer is more important than a regular citizen, so you got too many rules. You starting to believe that. If they'll do something to an officer.
It's not that I'm starting to believe anything, Joe, but this is what I do understand. And this is where I kind of have a problem where we've gone into utilizing officer discretion over the actual black and white fucking letters of the law. It leaves a lot of room for error, in my personal opinion. When you have the ability to use discretion, often, and this is just my perception, I guess, I don't want to label it as fact, so correct me if you guys disagree. But often, enforcement in turn, goes, say you get a call for a suspicious person, right? What is really happening at that point is you're really having a civil conflict of some sort that probably doesn't have any real legal bound to it. However, you guys are, required to go check it out anyways. And then through your discretion, you either build a case against somebody or you're like, this guy's good, fuck it, I got better things to do with my night.
Absolutely. And
Exactly.
Oaken Mac can speak better than I can.
But don't you see a problem with that? Because I mean, at the point that, so say I don't like Joe because Joe's black, and Joe's walking in my neighborhood, and Joe's just walking down the street, admiring the fucking lawns and the neighborhood, but because I'm a racist fuck and I don't like Joe, I call him in. And I'm like, hey, there's this fucking, African American or black guy, or, I could drop the N-bomb and I don't think it'd make much of a difference to the dispatcher. Okay. The thing is, though, is that an officer's going to show up. Okay. And then they're ultimately going to talk to Joe about what he's doing there. And if he doesn't want to talk, then obviously it leads to other things and a whole nother encounter.
Let's stay there. Don't move on from
well,
there.
Bird.
No, I'm going back to officer discretion, though. No, we're not. But we're talking about officer discretion versus the color of the law. So where do we draw the line between utilizing the police through officer discretion to enforce our social discomforts?
Well, Bird, let me. I have a real situation, and I'll tell you how we solved it. So there was a call. So nearby where I live, there's some farms, and a lot of Hispanic people work there, and they're here legally. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, and they usually all they have like a bus, and they drive it to the ATM to go cash their checks when they're paid. And we've had people call, and they'll say, hey, there's a bunch of. It's always the same lady. I don't know why she calls. She'll say that there's a bunch of Hispanic people at the ATM. It's real weird, and it's like, and what we'll do is we're not going to go. Like, why are we going to go harass these people? Not really harass, but, we're not going to go harass these people for you and be like, what are you guys up to? Because somebody called and they think you're suspicious. I don't think you're suspicious. You're just some people cashing a fucking check. We're not even going to go. We're going to call the lady back and be like, we're not going. And if she wants to call back and lie and make up something, then she's going to get charged with, abusing the 911.
I think you're talking about the red bird. I think me and you are going to keep finding contention here. I keep saying that the masses of cops are this, and you keep giving examples of times when they were good. Can you address, you do not think the masses of cops obviously are bad? You're going to say fucking what is bad? Girl, I'm sorry, I'm blown. All right, let me try again.
Beanie.
I'll say it for you, Joe. I think the masses of police do wake up with a good attitude and a desire to help their community and be, good people. I think that quite often, through things like officer discretion, which I have a big problem with in a lot of senses.
Bird. I just remember. Let me go. I just remember.
Sure, go ahead, bud.
I think the masses of cops are bullies. They catch me or anyone else on the side of the road. I'm breaking no law. Hey, I got a call. Great officer, but I don't want to rap with you right now. I'm talking to my broad on the phone. No. To you, that's suspicious. I need ID. You push. You force. To me, that's what officers do. Most of them think that. Wait. Most of them think that is my job.
The majority of auditors are bullies, Joe.
Not you, one of the cops. Yes, one of the cops.
See, that's why you were kicked out right there, Liberty. That's why you were kicked out. You told the fucking truth.
I mean, let's keep it real though. Like, think about this, Joe.
Not you, the cops, man.
No. I'm telling you, me, bud. And then the reason I'm telling you, me, is because
I wasn't asking you.
No, because you're trying to generalize, dude, and it's just as bias. It's the same bias, Joe. It's the same bias that you're talking about that we despise and that we talk against, right? How are we going to sit here and fucking say that we're against bias, and then we're going to label all fucking cops, or the majority of cops, as the fucking,
they can present that argument themselves. I'm sorry, Bird. I'm sorry.
I'm just keeping it real, man. Like,
let me ask you a question.
You got to be objective at some point. You also, Joe, you're way too intelligent, Joe.
I want to hear from them while I have that opportunity, so I'm getting angry because every time I ask them something, you respond for them. That is the third time.
All right, you got it, Joe. I'll let them respond.
Peace and love. And it's getting under my skin. I'm sorry.
Let me ask you a question.
I know you're excited of the opportunity that we're doing tonight. Peace and love, Joe. All right?
Okay.
We're all patient men here.
All right, well, let me go back so he can address it, and I can.
We'll address it one by one. But let me ask you a question first off, Joe. You're one of the favorite things your buddy Josh likes to
No, we stay with the ID. Please don't go anywhere else.
No, let me finish. One of his favorite sayings is reasonable, articulable suspicion. Do you know what that means?
I do.
Tell me what it is.
It has to be. You have to articulate a suspicion. You have to be able to voice particular shit, and it has to be reasonable, as opposed to I had a hint or a hunch.
Based on what?
Oh my goodness!
Phone call.
I don't know.
A phone call.
No.
Reasonable suspicion.
No, based on training and experience.
Harry. Harry, can I provide a very basic definition? It's actually on my FTO test.
Go for it, bro.
So. The definition that was given, I think it's a pretty simple definition of reasonable articulable suspicion, is a set of facts or circumstances that would lead a reasonable person or a reasonable officer to believe that a crime has been or is going to be committed. The difference between that and probable cause is a reasonable person. And also that goes in there with what Harry was saying is it's based off the officer's training and experience.
Okay, I asked, do most officers push the ID thing, and you're telling me about Raz. Draw the connection for me.
I'm trying to get there. State and local gets a phone call. White male, black male, driving a car erratically, possibly has a weapon on him.
Yeah.
Last three numbers on the tag are 123.
Yeah.
We come in that area. Joe's driving a Cadillac DeVille. Last three numbers are 123.
Yeah.
There's part of our suspicion right there. We got to try and talk to you.
Very good.
Now you're being evasive for no reason. We're just trying to talk to you. Say, hey, listen, we got a call. We need to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And we're trying to talk to you. You're like, fuck you, I'm talking to my broad.
Yes, baby.
Broad.
That's Joe. I'm using Joe's words. CFW.
Yeah, that's what
Relax.
Joe does.
Come on, baby. Yes.
Yeah. So, what at that point? Who's escalated that situation?
You just did. Leave me the fuck alone, like I asked.
No.
Yeah. You
We
don't
just went
get
back.
to keep
You
asking
just
me
no.
questions.
You,
What you get to do, or what you?
we absolutely do.
I'm sorry.
You're wrong, bro. You just asked us about how I'm getting back to Raz. I just explained how I get back to Raz.
Mm-hmm.
And that once we have reasonable or takeable suspicion, yes, we can ID you. Oak and Matt, am I wrong?
You
No,
can
you're right
ID
about
me
that.
because of a half of a license plate? Hell, fucking no.
That's
partial plate.
For partial
Depending on the
plate? Hell
state,
no.
I mean that in a vehicle
Yes.
description, a driver description. I mean, so
No,
let me get
no,
this straight,
fuck
Joe.
no.
Let me get this straight. Hang on.
Yeah.
Let me lay it out to you how I would lay it out in court, right?
Yeah.
I would say, Your Honor, we got a call about a black male driver driving a silver Cadillac, and they can only get the last three numbers, 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
We come in the area, and in the area we observe Joe Cool driving northbound on whatever road. In the area, he's driving a vehicle that's been described with the tag with the ending numbers being 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Does that not seem logical that this is the person? Logical, reasonable.
It
That this is
seems
the person that we are
reasonable to investigate, but not reasonable enough to take my rights if you're not absolutely 1,000% sure.
Well, no, I'm not a judge. I can't ever be 1,000% sure in anything.
Well, okay,
even when I
let's
make
say
an
you
arrest.
better be very sure if you're about to take my rights, not on some could be shit. You don't get to do it, in my opinion.
I don't know, Joe. If they had a partial plate and a character description and a vehicle description, and all three of those things line up. Now, say only two of those things line up. It's still kind of like, yeah, do I not? What if only one of them line up, right? You have Native American in there instead of a white and black guy. There's two Native American guys, right? Now all of a sudden it's not the same circumstances. Those guys are probably going to go free. Versus if you had the white and black guy. Me and you were in the Ville, bro. We're probably going to jail.
Well, and the other thing is if you don't agree with that, Joe, then you're probably not a reasonable person.
Oh, be nice.
Excuse me. All right.
Wow.
Excuse me, Carolina. No name. I have a question.
Sure, Ninja. Go ahead, brother.
No name.
No name, you there? You're muted.
She doesn't know her name.
All right. I saw she was waving like she wanted to ask something.
FW, I didn't even know you were here. You certainly can add something.
Oh.
Yeah, how you doing?
How are you? Are you black?
Good.
You're a
Am I
black guy.
Jesus.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that.
Wow. We've
About
digressed.
as far from a cop as you can get.
So how many guys are coming out to my protest, Joe?
Am I wrong? Am I wrong about that? Most cats, let's say in a regular situation, without going to anywhere else, a very regular situation, if I sit in there and tell that cop blow me, let me give a very regular. He got a call. There's a car parked at the library. I tell he come over and he tells me, hey, I'm like, hey, blow me. I'm on the phone with my woman. Beat it. Won't most cops push that ID shit?
Probably.
Well, I don't really. If I don't have a reason to arrest you, I'm not going to sit here and fuck around.
Most cops. I'm saying most cops. This is where I'm trying to go, and I think that was a good example of what I was trying to say.
Let me ask you a question.
Cops, don't we agree that most cops will push that ID shit?
Let me put this back to you first. Why?
Grr.
No, I'm gonna.
No. You got to answer that one straight up.
But my question is, why be so confrontational?
Can I answer that after you answer mine?
Because you're confrontational. For me, like I said, if I'm simply doing I pull up the situation, just doing an investigatory stop because you're parked in the middle of the night in front of a library for no apparent reason.
You're telling me about you again. I'm asking about the masses.
I can't speak for the masses. I can speak for me.
I can speak for the masses because I watch TV. I got fucking HBO. I'm
Hold on.
live.
Hold
okay?
on. Quick thank you. We're at 80 viewers. Thank you. Carry on.
I have something to say.
Go ahead.
When you
Steve.
guys
Well, hold
get
on. Let me finish Joe's
I
statement
have a
here.
question.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay.
Again, if I come up to a situation, like again, I said this at the beginning, I'm not a street cop. I'm a Fed. I've been on task force. I've worked state and local many times. But if I walk into a situation and someone's instantly confrontational to me, that's a hint to us. Because a lot of times with most criminals, a lot of criminals,
Okay,
they try and control
hint to
situations
what?
to get us out
I
of it.
hint that
It's a
that what?
hint.
I
I
hint to
give
what?
you that. It's a hint. So what do? You get to fucking keep asking me for ID when I keep telling you to beat it. What do? I get you're on point. I peeked you. I get that. So
Right.
motherfuckers get to, and most cops will just keep pushing it.
A hint
Why?
to what?
If we
And
walk
do we
up,
agree that most cops do it?
no, I can't because I don't know most cops. I know my inner circle. I know Oak. I know Maddie. I can't speak for everyone else.
You white fish like me, yeah?
Okay, it's like they get really angry when you don't ID. It's like they're like, all you gotta do is ID, and you can just be right on your way.
They don't stop.
But the cops are like, they don't understand why we want to protect our rights. I mean, that's our right not to ID. And so why are you getting mad at me because I want to keep my rights?
Well, hang on. Let me.
And then sometimes they'll even take somebody down to identify them all the way down to the station, and it's the wrong guy. The guy stood up for his rights, all the way down there.
Hold on, CFW.
And then wait, hang on. And you can say, oh, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. The easy way is just tell us your name and your birth date. Or we can do it the hard way. On your face, put you in handcuffs, throw you down and tase you, and then we'll get your
Even
name.
without the handcuffs, let's not go there.
CFW.
They will push, and this part is true.
So there are situations in which you are required to provide your ID. There are situations in which you are not required to provide your ID. For example, I work in
Hey, Joe, let him answer.
Girl, he finna take the subject somewhere else.
I was
standing on a
I'd like to answer Joe's after Matt.
It's not a
Go ahead. Whoever's trying to speak.
ID.
So what I was going to say is Joe. So we know what you're saying. Okay, so you're saying you're parked in the library and you don't want to ID. If that was the case,
No, it's not that he doesn't want to ID.
Well, hang on. You got
stop for a minute, please.
You got to let me finish here.
Okay.
I understood what he asked. And in that case, the only probable cause or ARS you would have is that Joe's a dick.
Right,
I agree. But that's not the whole story. Now, there's also another person in the situation that we haven't heard the story from, is the officer, right?
Okay.
We've heard Joe's story. He's sitting in a parking lot at a library.
Okay.
But the officer's story might be that somebody called and saw Joe walk up to the door of the library and try it, and he's doing
what the call was.
No. But you're not the only one there. You're not the only Joe, but you're not the only one there.
My hypothetical had a call in it. I said he got a call that says there's someone parked in the library. That's it. Officer goes over there and this ensues.
And this is a hypothetical, but at that point, yes, all we would know, the only probable cause we would have is that Joe's a dick.
Yeah, but they push it though, right? Every cop will.
Well, I want to know what's going on. It depends, though.
Yes,
no, what happens? Let's look at the truth.
Will everyone?
They push a different narrative, Joe. Typically, it's going to be disorderly conduct, or you got. I don't think is there an actual charge for contempt of cop?
And what they do too is they don't know the rights
right now. That there are laws where we can get your ID. I'm not interested in that. I'm talking to my woman. Well, I got a reason to be out here on heightened alert. I don't give a fuck. Get away from my car. Well, there have been burglaries out here.
Well, that's more the reason. I mean, if your vehicle matches a burglary that happened in the area the night before or something, I don't know. I don't live in this make-believe town that you're telling me about, but I see what you're saying, and we know Joe's point of view. Joe isn't
okay. All right, good.
Joe isn't Joe Cool and Joe Cop. Joe is just Joe Cool. So we don't know we don't know what Joe Cop is thinking.
You got to realize how easy it is, though. Like, let me tell you why. Okay, I was with Joe Cool. I was with Bronson. We were sitting at a parking lot after dropping off a buddy named Willie Fisser, who gave us a great tour of downtown. Right?
Yeah.
So, long story short, this is how easy it is, dude. I mean, this is how easy it is. I look at Joe and I say, "Do you want to see what the king of bait looks like?" And he's like, "What?" And I said, "Watch this." And I hop out the car because I'm sick of Bronson and Joe bitching at each other for the last fucking 15 minutes. And I point my camera at two cops sitting at the fucking end of the fucking road, you know, either waiting for us or waiting for a reason or waiting for anything. And I take a fucking couple of flash shots, just flash photography of the cops. Okay? Immediately, dude, we were pinned in. Okay. We were being harassed. They were trying to come up with charges such as leaving the vehicle running when we had a driver in the vehicle at the time.
Yes.
You know, and for what? Because I took a picture of the cops. Now, their reasonable suspicion was that we were next to a train station, and that they were concerned about, you know, the public safety of me photographing there and maybe taking pictures of the train station. I'm like, where the fuck's the train? I don't see a train, you know. But you see my point, though. That's how easy it is, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't there, and I haven't seen the video of that or anything. If there is one. But I mean, you can agree that it's, but you can
guys
agree.
might not like me as much after watching it, though.
You can agree. I mean, you said yourself, the king of bait. You knew you were about to do something weird that was going to provoke a police response.
Because police are dicks.
Well, let's talk about what's weird though. Like now, this is the thing though.
He
Is
knew
that
they were such dicks that they be provoked by
that was what it
yes,
was.
he know
That's what it was.
Soft ass niggas.
I profiled.
And then they walked up like this. They walked up like this. Okay, son. Let me see your
Actually,
ID.
they didn't get out of their vehicles.
No, they blocked us in CFW.
Come on.
They blocked the
Let's
car
see what you
in.
got.
No, CFW, they blocked the car in like they're gods or something.
I remember that
like
video.
we owe them money or something.
Yeah.
So my point behind it is that yes, I did provoke the situation. Okay, however, at no point would a reasonable cop ever use a flash photography as a reason to ambush and or pin in someone that is literally just taking a picture. Criminal, non-criminal, terrorist, maybe even. Like, I mean, I've seen some dudes, you know, like right during 9/11, you know, that had turbans on their head that were pointing at the Pure Dog. I call the cops on them? No. You know why? Because they're a different religion than I am? Because they look like they're different than I am? Because of Joe Cool? So the thing is, though, say you had have gotten a call about that. You know, you'd probably inspect it. But back to the point is that there's certain things that should be inalienable, you know, for rights, and public photography is definitely one. So whether it's a flash at the train station or the cops, no cop in his right mind should ever use that to
Why do they want your ID so bad? Why do they want to know who you are so bad? Can you answer that?
Even
Why do they want to know who you are?
I would say you know the answer to these things, but you let someone give you a list of reasons why you would take those rights away from a motherfucker.
And raise your hand if you didn't give up your ID, but like a mile down the road you got stopped, retaliatory. About 15 times I've been stopped, retaliatory ticket.
So I think I'm not sure of the situation you guys are talking about. And
we should watch that video real quick. Joe, do you still have it on your channel?
Video, because we still gonna have different points of view.
Sancho, I know you're listening, dude. Go to Joe Cool's channel. Look at Mount Pleasant cops taking L. I think it's like a 9-minute video, maybe 10 minutes tops.
So it's in Joe's channel.
Yeah. It's a worth watcher, man. I'm telling you right now. You'll see me do some dangerous shit, like throw a flak jacket on in the middle of an encounter.
Harry.
Oh boy.
You want me to first do my point, Harry?
No flap jacket on. We should have called the military. They're gonna lose it.
Why is it the easy way or the hard way? Like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to your guest, Sancho, but I just want to know why they want our ID so bad. Is it because so many people have warrants? What is it that's so important about the ID?
No, it's mostly because sometimes people do things that are weird like that because they've done something else before that we may not be purview to at the moment. And if we can rest assured and be comfortable letting you go and knowing that we know who you are. So when something comes up and there was a bank robbery or something crazy like that, we can be like, oh, I know exactly. That was Carolina in Fort Worth.
So
right. She robbed them.
Am I on a weird list? I'm on a weird list.
Calm down, CFW.
I'm on a weird list, right?
What's the video called?
I'm on a weird list. So we could put on a
Mount
list.
Pleasant, New York. Try
With
that
all
shit.
respect, Officer Oak, I like you.
She is just.
I'm giving you a hard time.
All right, listen, because CFW is gushing and Liberty Bird doesn't know what mute is, which is fucking hilarious.
I'll put mine.
Matt, Harry, Oak.
Yeah,
I
whoops.
gotta honor the contract that they made me do. If we had 70 people, I have to make a quick plug. Harry, is that okay, Harry?
No, it's fine, bro. It's your show.
So the El Sancho cop calendar is coming out soon. It's gonna be about 1995. We are seeing three. We're actually seeing 3 of the panel members that are in the calendar going to be released. We have Matt, Oak, and Harry are in this calendar. I don't.
I'm in the top left.
Okay, you just doxed yourself. 1995. The El Sancho calendar will be coming out soon. CFW, I hope you place an order. I think she's reaching for a credit card.
I can safely say I'm in not that picture.
I think she. Hold on. Where is CFW?
She's rubbing one out real quick.
I'm the one next to the light.
You have your credit card out? You have your credit card out? Come on now. All right, 1995. All right, now I got that legal thing out of the way. What's the video called?
Mount Pleasant, New York, or something.
Yeah, some Mount Pleasant, New York. Yeah,
Is it your video?
Probably that might know. Who? What?
Yeah, it's Joe's video.
It's his video. He's like,
While you've got a minute, gentlemen, I appreciate your time. I have to boogie. I got a 6 o'clock get up this morning or later tomorrow morning. I got to go get some blood taken. So I wish you all the best of luck and have a great weekend.
You too, buddy.
Take it easy, driver.
Good luck, brother. Work for that candy. Work for that lollipop. When you do good, after you give blood, you get a lollipop. That's the deal I have because I don't like needles.
No, they don't. And I've had so many IVs over the past 2 years that it doesn't bother me.
If you ask for a lollipop, they'll give you one.
Not where I'm
I know
going.
you don't like taking advice, but
I got another phone. I could find this shit. I got another phone here. I could have found it by now. Shit.
All right. Is this the video?
Oh, you got it.
Is this the video?
Yeah, that's the video.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's watch it.
Oh, hang on.
Grab my 360 mod here. I'm gonna leave my camera in there.
How do I get that shit?
He's just blocking us in.
How do I get that shit out of there?
Look at this. Look at this shit. How we gonna get out, bro? If you park behind us? I'm just curious.
Look at Liberty Bird. It's quiet. Liberty Bird's quiet as fuck right now.
Just give it a minute.
Listen, fuck that.
I was the one taking pictures, right?
Yeah, but fuck that.
I got nothing to say about it.
You got nothing to say about what?
About your question. Do I have to answer your questions?
Yeah.
Why
is that? You're God? You're God? You cats got us blocked in.
Self-incrimination.
Incriminate these nuts, man. How about that?
This is not a consensual encounter, sir. Any further engagement, and I would ask you to disengage now. It's not consensual, and any questions that you have, you can apply to somebody else. Because I ain't the guy to violate the right, though. All right, I'm going silent now. You do what you do.
All right with you, bro. What's going on? Hey, why don't you tell your man to move? He got us blocked in.
They calling for backup. That's what they're waiting on.
What you running my What you running my play for?
Why is Liberty Bird talking if he's silent?
What you running my play
I
for?
told you, just wait.
You're supposed to be
guys
silent, though.
Have to have a reason when you run plates, or you do that shit randomly.
Taking pictures at a train station.
Is that shit illegal?
At a train station. Yes, it's a train station. Where's the train at? Where's the station at?
You think there needs a
Is that illegal?
Taking pictures. Yeah. And is it illegal to take
pictures in a train station? So what you bring it up for? What'd you bring it up for?
Unless there's a law that's been broken, I have the right to. I'm done here. I have the right to inquire.
He keeps saying that, right?
And we have the right to not answer.
I understand that, but now because you're free to leave, I'm free to stay. I'm running your plate.
What's the suspicious?
That you're not answering my question.
How? I have a right not to ask your questions, bro.
It's okay.
You can't make a First Amendment activity illegal Suspicious?
No, I'm not doing anything.
You just said it was suspicious. Taking pictures is not suspicious. People do it every day.
At a train station, I need to just verify who you are. That's all.
You ain't verifying nothing here, bro. Nothing.
You're making me nervous, buddy.
I bet you making me nervous, blocking me in.
He went to drive off. He forgot he
You
wanted
do
to
the job to
leave.
your best of your ability.
Look at these pricks,
No,
yo.
I'm not kidding you. What I'm saying right now is just shit all over.
Joe's probably got a text from AFA to copyright strike me already.
Right?
Don't bring that tyranny shit here, bro.
Copyright strike.
Hey, Bird said, don't
You
bring
just
that tyranny
was.
shit here, bro.
All right, coppicer. All right, coppicer. You got it.
Oh, fuck.
These cats got us blocked in.
Bird, but if you took your oath to be silent, why are you talking?
Because I can't shut
You
up.
just broke
They
your
got
oath.
slow computers.
Yeah, stand in front of that plate, Joe.
No, fuck that. I want to see what he's.
Yeah, last time I checked, I'm pretty sure public photography is legal in the state of New York.
Apparently, it's suspicious behavior.
Suspicious to take a picture?
Yeah, apparently, maybe it's
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Hold on.
suspicious to stand on my left leg as well.
This is where I put the flak jacket on.
It literally.
I guess we're gonna hang out since we can't move. Yeah, let me show you guys how he got us blocked in. Look at
Chuck's
this.
in the driver's seat.
He got us blocked in. Tough cats. Mount Pleasant. These cats are tough.
I got my press credentials.
Yeah, right there on the chest. See where it say press?
Yeah. What kind of press credentials does it take to have in the American Constitution? You think they had press credentials when they wrote that shit? Are you serious? Do you think they were issuing press credentials?
God bless you. God bless you, bro. You cats are harassing folks.
Yeah. Right now, you're acting like a leftist. Y'all voting for Hillary.
You see,
What is with this y'all stuff?
You see no crime.
Bird's getting some slang over here hanging out with Joe.
Yo, you're acting like y'all some leftists.
What?
Is that Bird?
Joe?
What the fuck?
Is that Malibu's most wanted or is that Liberty Bird?
3 cop cars.
Oh,
Down, boss. Could you please not put your light in my eyes?
Yeah, fucking dick. See, that's another thing. Don't do that to people, dude. That's fucked up.
Light in my eyes.
Hey, officer, could you help me, officer?
Well, guess
What do you know now? Can you see now? Yes, sir. Now, I like your approach now. You're much... What do you ask, bro? I'm not in the habit of answering questions, personal questions to people I don't know.
I'm not your bro.
It's a slang term, Joe. Look at me. Yes, look at me.
Act like a gentleman.
Act like a gentleman to some tyrants who got me blocked in?
Uh-oh.
Again, I don't answer personal questions to people I don't know. Would you identify yourself, officer?
Right now, okay, we're going to write the operator of this car for an unattended motor vehicle. I would suggest...
Unattended? He's attended. He's in the car right now.
Who's in the car? Is there a driver behind the steering wheel?
Do your job. Investigate, bro.
Hey, here he is. He is here.
Yeah, look at that. All
Rolled
that
up on us, didn't even realize we got out of the passenger side.
Let me tell you this.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
I do not give you permission to photograph me in any which way or form.
Yes. Yes.
If this is reproduced, okay,
Yes. Yes.
and shown to anyone else,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
I will sue you.
I'd appreciate it if you do, man. I like the lawsuit, bro. Can I get a supervisor out here?
No.
I cannot get a. Would you record? Does somebody have a body cam on?
There's no reason for crime. I'm gonna walk this way.
Let me go.
That dude almost grabbed me right there, just so you guys know. I have it on 360 cam. He reached.
Look at this. Excuse me, officer. Would you identify yourself for me?
Australia.
Thank you. Very good. Could you tell me what
Difference
laws
between me
being
and
broken
Joe
here?
right now. Joe's letting them
All right, guys,
corral him.
we're out of here tonight, right?
Thanks, baby. Have a
Okay.
good one.
All I want to tell you is this. Okay?
Yes.
You didn't know where the railroad station was?
You was talking to
Station
him.
is right over there.
You was talking to him. I knew where we were.
And the railroad station is up here.
I knew where we
okay?
were. I knew where we were.
Just be advised of the situation that we have here throughout the world, okay?
Yes.
And we want to make sure that everyone's going to be safe, including people who use those
How
lines.
about including me? I'm not safe when all these armed men come around me. I'm a black man.
You most certainly
Behind
are.
cancer,
You most certainly are safe.
dying from cops are the 6 leading causes of death. I don't feel safe
Is
around
that-
you. When
is
you
that
pull up
true?
behind me,
That is
I
true.
don't feel safe. When the police driving behind me, no.
I don't
it's
think
all
so.
you.
I don't think so.
It is.
It is true.
But no crime. You guys must got nothing to do with Mount Pleasant. Is that what we are? No, Mount Pleasant. You got nothing to do. No crime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 police cars, but no crime. You guys got plenty of time on your hands.
I guess so.
I guess so.
You guys are that important.
Apparently, right? My name is Joe. I'm from Chicago, bro.
Chicago, what brings you to New York?
Well, actually, I'm going to see a chick, man.
Chick?
I'm going to see a chick. No, we in route, bro. We in route. Have a good one, man. You too, Hickey. Look at the cat. He's the oldest cat's always the worst. Fuck on, nigga.
Oh my God. Joe.
Mount Pleasant.
Joe.
It's your policy. 41.
Joe.
Can I get your name and badge number?
I remember this.
Who's the guy who wears white pants in the wintertime? I mean, what the fuck?
After Labor Day.
I know. That's so fucking. He should get arrested just for that. He should get tased for wearing white
Bro,
after Labor Day.
I'm a painter and I have to be in
You're
camo.
not a painter in New York, you idiot. What are you doing?
I could have hit in the snow. No one would have ever known I
What are
was
you
there.
painting in New York, you fucking.
One left. 4 down, 1 to go. Beat it. I think that's the driver's shame.
He's easily identified, man. White man with white pants after Labor Day.
All right, let's go to the hotel, guys.
So I got a better one for you, anyways.
Suspicious as fuck.
Get your ass in the passenger seat.
Now they're 50 feet away. Joe's gonna yell at them. Ready? Watch this.
Unless you awaken, you're ready to drive again.
I know, right? That should have woke him up. That woke him up.
All right, dog.
Now they're all huddling about why this fucking guy is wearing white after Liberty Bird.
I got an ID for sitting in the street. So I put the link in the private chat.
All right.
They're colluding. They're saying, look, there's got to be a citation for white pants after Labor Day.
I stepped in the street and I made my ID, and I had to because I was really far away from home.
The problem with links is I have to plug the calendar again. If I show
No,
you.
nigga, give me some
All right.
time. It was a
So starting this weekend.
Yeah, the problem there was no
Sancho
crime.
calendar. Get your wallet out. 1995. Officer Oak, Matt the Man, Harry Balls. This is going to be good. 1999, everybody. All right, CFW. You want him to play your?
You better put the women's one up there too next
Hey,
year.
hold on 1 second, Sancho.
Joe.
Sancho, let me
My
address.
intro was never played. Just
No, because Oral had to be. Oral
there's a contract already there.
Oral had to. You know what I had to do, Joe, to get this motherfucker out of retirement?
Took a mouthful of chowder.
I got this. No one else could get him out of retirement, but I had to get him out of retirement for you. I blew something for you, Joe. And all I get you doing tonight is this. Grrr! Grrr!
So just out of curiosity, you guys all work together, Officer Oak?
No.
We did for the calendar. It was just a big photo shoot one
One
time.
of you cats sound kind of young.
Yeah, Joe, I've talked to you before on Sancho's show.
Yep.
Okay.
Let
How
me
old are
respond
you?
to something.
If you don't
Sancho,
mind me asking,
Joe,
don't even
Joe.
answer that. Don't answer that.
Hold on 1 second, buddy. Regarding Lane, whatever your name was, first off, you don't know shit about me. My training is probably second to none. I'm very proud of the training I've gotten. My attitude is probably one of the best in the business. And like I said, you don't know nothing about me. So secondly, also, someone asked why we're being so quiet. Well, it's called being polite and watching a video and letting these guys document what they're saying in the video. So that's why we weren't talking. So anyway, with that said, please continue.
So what do you guys think about that video besides Liberty Bird committing a sin by wearing white?
The outfit alone scared me, and that was probable cause to at least confront him.
Hold on. I'm going to throw him backstage for a minute. I just, like, I feel disrespected that, like, he's literally wearing white out. Like, what the fuck,
and just because
man?
you, and Liberty Bird, just because you finger paint, Liberty Bird, because you finger paint does not make you a painter.
Didn't you not realize there was cameras around? I mean, I'll bring him back.
Liberty Bird went to Joe and was like, "Look, you can't put this on the internet.
Yeah.
If this is rebroadcasted anywhere, and they find out I have white pants on, I will sue you."
Yeah.
No,
Dude, I could lay down in the snow. You would have never seen me.
Here's the good part. Here's the good part. I don't know if you heard him. He say, "You're acting like a bunch of leftists, a bunch of Hillary lovers." Man, I got so many shits in my cup. Who the fuck was that? Who the fuck was you?
No, Joe. The punchline is you guys are voting for Hillary, huh? Now, no one wanted to pay any never mind to the fucking other cop that got that dude pulled over, and I'm like, is that a Trump 2020 sticker on your bumper? You know, no one cared about that. That's fucked up.
So what's everyone's thoughts on this video? All right.
I think my consensus is that it's not so much about them filming. It's about them doing weird things. As weird as they are, they're not illegal, and there's nothing wrong with that. They can do as much weird things as they want. But does it prompt, like us to want to figure out, like, well, why are they doing these weird things? Of course. Our legal ability. Well, hang on. Oh, I mean, a man in a vest that says press on it, and it's bulletproof, and we're in New York, where there's not a whole lot of guns around, anyways.
No, hold on. I didn't put the vest on until after. So the whole encounter, mind you, started with a simple flash. Actually, 3 simple flash photography photos of 2
That wasn't in
officers.
the video, though.
No, that's right before the video. Joe's video started.
See, that's the thing.
You like giving us
problem.
Right. You like giving us hypotheticals. Let me give you one, and this is one your buddy Josh did the other night. 3 o'clock in the morning. You're out walking around looking for doing cop blocking, which is cool, no big deal. They're in front of a business. They see a cop, and they all run separate directions. What would you do?
What I do, I would chase every motherfucker.
I mean, there's definitely being stupid.
Exactly. And it kind of segues me into this whole Floyd Wallace thing. I like Floyd Wallace. I think this kid is being taken advantage of. Right. I think Josh is a dick. And he's going to get himself hurt and or killed. And unless you guys, Joe mainly, since you're in the community, and unfortunately Bird's not, honestly need to talk to this kid. He's going to get himself hurt. I mean, the situation he had in Indiana where he came run up on that cop with his hand in his pocket, whether you guys like it or not, that cop had every right to tase that kid at that point.
At the minimum.
Yeah. Seriously. Had he come out of his pocket with anything that even resembled a weapon, he would have gotten lit up.
Joe, you got to realize when there's a mental health disorder, there needs to be care brought with that. And I'm not saying kid gloves, but experience, respect, compassion. And I'm not seeing that.
I think, Joe, what he's saying is that he might be a quarter bubble off plum.
I mean, I did a mental health show last night, man, about bipolarism. It was perfect timing when he was revealing all that stuff. I did a mental health show about bipolarism. I had 2 professional doctors on talking about bipolarism. It's serious, and you need to surround yourself with the right people in order to succeed and thrive.
But I caught the last.
Yeah, you gotta, when there's a mental health issue, you gotta surround yourself with the right people to have the right soldiers around you to lift you up in times of need. I'm not seeing that.
You're sure to cover it. Specifically, should talk to that cat. You are absolutely right. I probably got his number in one of my phones, and what the fuck am I doing? I see he just took a beating. Have I not even? That should have crossed my own fucking mind.
Well, Joe, I also wanted to. I forgot to clarify this when we were watching the video or after the video, but they can run your plate for any reason. I mean, it's
I agree. I couldn't give
I
them
saw
really,
you'd asked them if there was a reason. I just
I
wanted to
know,
bring
but
that
I
up.
couldn't give him shit over that in
So
particular.
what
And
do you
I
guys do if
asked him,
someone blocks the
do they
play?
do it random? And he said, yes, they do. And I didn't give him shit.
We'll run the VIN.
What if there's a
Or
book though?
run the
Like,
van.
so
I
just
couldn't give him
hypothetical.
shit, right? If
Yeah,
long
yeah.
as y'all
There's
stayed
a
off,
book in
if
the
a cop
dash.
stayed off, observed and shit, I wouldn't have no problem with him. He asked questions, observed, take pictures, take my picture. I don't have a problem with none of that. And it's all
It's
reasonable. I expect him to do that, and I expect him to be courteous while he do it. You do not get
it's
to
against.
bully and be like, hey, now give me your ID. I don't have to. And you know that, we don't get to do the dance. I would be courteous as fuck. And I'm gonna allow you do your shit. We're gonna joke and laugh. But as soon as a motherfucker keep pushing the issue, that's bullying, and you're gonna get it back.
My thing is if I don't have like if you're doing something weird, because people do weird shit all the time where I live. I think the crazies flock here, but they just do weird things. And if you're doing something weird, I mean, I come up and talk to you, and if you just tell me like if you're a dick, I may like sit around for a second just to make sure. And then if you're still being a dick, and I don't see any reason other than the fact that you're a dick, then I'm not gonna sit here and stand with you. I'm gonna be like, okay, bye. Like I gotta, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, and I
exactly. There's
think
not.
you're smart
Yeah.
enough to learn that very fast. You
And
you look and you've seen enough out. You've seen enough of them out there. You'll be like, Dick, he's one of those cats. Which, by the
yeah,
way, you was talking about earlier, and I agree with you on that
Ooh,
point. You was
ooh.
like,
Let's talk about that, Joe.
use our
You're one of
perception with
those
towards
cats.
niggas you're supposed to.
Now, how often have I heard you're one of those guys? Now, this is the problem that we have here. All
what do you mean, you
departments, dude,
people?
all departments across the board, dude, in the entire United States have policies strictly in place to prevent the use of open bias. Okay. However, so often do I hear the term you're one of those guys, or you're those kind of people, or you or you kind of people, that kind of shit, dude. I hear that a lot, right?
Yeah,
So the question is what is really being referred to? Is it the fact that I'm a constitutionalist? Is it the fact that
it
I'm a
is.
dick? Is it the
It
fact
is.
that I'm a First Amendment at the time, or that it just turned into a First Amendment at the time? Like,
Yeah. Let me
I'm
rephrase
baffled
Bird's
by that one.
question. Why is it that if you run a search of rights, immediately a cop feel like he can take that as suspicion for something and press harder? I don't get to assert my rights with you cats. Oh, most people don't assert them. If
Let's
that's
have Oak go
suspicious,
first.
most
Oak, go
people don't
ahead.
assert their rights.
All right, Oak,
Well,
carry the Matt. Go ahead.
it depends on the situation. I mean, you may not see the full picture because you're not
Well, let's just
purview to
keep
what.
it general then. Let's just keep it general.
So like the thing is it one sided, but there's two sides to every story.
I would agree, and I like to think. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So you may be in the wrong place, the wrong time, the wrong guy, the wrong shirt, the wrong fucking last three of your tag, you know, but you happen to just fall into that fucking niche, setup, and you just decided to wear a red shirt today and be a black guy and have the car that was described, and that sucks. And I never want to arrest the wrong person. That's the worst fucking thing that could possibly happen. I would feel horrible. But if you just so happen to be the wrong fucking guy that day, you know, and I arrest you, and then we go to court, and it turns out that I was wrong, I'm gonna feel horrible. But or I we won't even go that far. We'll just say I make you give me your ID, and it turns out, after I've made you give me your ID, that now I've dispelled whatever suspicion that I had, and they've caught the actual guy around the corner with the
Yeah,
TV
yeah.
in his hands, and now I feel bad. But was I wrong?
Fuck yes.
Well, I was wrong,
Obviously.
but was I? But the thing is was I legally wrong? Could I have legal?
That legally you guys have a million reasons to do what you do. You know that You can legally shoot me if I'm reaching for my fucking phone and
No,
get
no,
away
calm
with it
down.
legally. I'm sorry.
We can do this the easy way or the hard way. There you go. There's your answer.
No, that's not the answer. But
Yes,
going,
that's what you're saying. You're saying, let's just trust you because we don't know the whole story. So we should just listen to what you say and just do it the easy way and hand the ID.
Well, no.
Just because you.
Why does it get to that when cops
Let me,
know that
Joe,
they have no legal
one at a
authority?
time. One at a time. One at a time.
just because you don't think, and this goes back to it again, just because you don't think we have reasonable or articulable suspicion doesn't mean we don't.
So we have to believe you that you do. Okay.
Yes, you do. I mean, whether you like it or not, you can file a complaint.
Do this the easy way.
I've never, in 17 years, I've never once said that to a person. Okay, whether that cop said it to you or not, that's his script. That's fine.
No, you're aware that there's multiple cops that's what they do, right? We haven't agreed on that yet. You do agree that multiple cops? That's the thing. Wait a minute. When you catch just talking about, wait a minute, I'm fucking insane. I'm stupid as fuck. You cats was just talking about when I entered the room. You were talking about I get everybody ID I can. I don't give a fuck what happens. If I run up on a motherfucking he look at me to the left, I'm gonna make sure I get his ID.
I don't know if I can. If I can legally.
Yeah, if I
no
can.
matter-
Yeah, exactly. That's the.
None of us said it that way,
qualifier.
Joe, by any means. I'm not sure what room you walked into. It wasn't us.
Yeah.
No way, I'm fucking wrong.
That might have been Shiva's room. Joe.
I'm not pickpocketing people to get their IDs.
Joe,
and
that was
fucking running
Shiva's
them.
room. Joe, that was Shiva's room you were in.
No.
Is that true, Sancho?
Yeah, they were talking about IDs and stuff in Shiva's room. You're okay, Joe.
You said you're high as fuck, Joe, so I mean, come work with us here. That
Look
wasn't
at
us.
him. I said he's high as fuck.
No, Joe said he was.
I said he's high as fuck.
No, Joe said he was high as fuck.
I am high as fuck, and he is high as fuck. And high can recognize high, like game can recognize game. Look at this motherfucker. I am so glad my camera's not on right now. Oh my god.
You could blind Joe with dental floss right now.
Oh, CFW would arrest me. I'm so high.
So I sent you a video where they made up a lie to ID me, but I had to do it the easy way because I was so far away from home. I was by myself, and they had guns, and I didn't. And I got so much slack on this video that I sent you because I ID'd myself. I didn't want to go to jail, and I didn't want to have my car towed off. And I didn't want to be searched again. So,
do you guys want me to play that video, or does
Yes.
Harry or Matt have a response to the question Joe had earlier that Oak responded to?
Which one, about IDing or?
And
I know Bird had a question about if he didn't have a tag and if the VIN was blocked by a book. Just to answer that question,
I do that
most
shit.
most states you can't block the VIN with a book. It's against the law.
Oh,
It's a ticketable offense, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll take the ticket. You can have my ID for that one. I still won't give up to them.
But eventually, they're going to get the vehicle information anyways.
I think you cats have the right to do all of that, man.
then they solicit trespassing. And they solicit
investigate. This is my issue. I think you cats have the right to investigate your ass off when you get suspicious. But I think, generally speaking, and I'm looking for agreement here, that most cops expect you to help them investigate you for a crime. Where you coming from? So and so. No, I don't want to speak to you. Well, that's reasonable suspicious right there. Most
Can we talk about
ID. You have nothing to hide.
Can we talk about a bigger issue? Actually, like I don't know if you
Hold
guys
on. Who just got timed out? Can mods?
What?
Mods, can we we're not News New England over here, guys. It's just I don't see anything she said that was wrong.
Who here's familiar with the Stingray?
The Stingray, the animal, or the Stingray, the Corvette?
The car?
No, talking about the Jammer.
Thank you. Collector.
Collector, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so you're familiar with that.
Yes.
So
It's a what? I don't know what it is.
Let me elaborate real quick. So there's a mechanism called the Stingray. What it ultimately does, and a lot of departments are now using them, is they can actually use it mobile or they can set it stationary. And as things come through the cell phone tower that is connected to, all your information from your cell phones and all the metadata go into the Stingray. So when you're text messaging people or making, oh yeah, absolutely. Or, you're running some type of data, all that information goes at the Stingray, then is able to be analyzed, and then, cases can be built from there. That being said, tell me about your guys' knowledge about that.
You can't use it without a warrant or court order.
But the Patriot Act allows you to.
Well, no, hold on, time out. We must be talking about something different, because the Stingray doesn't collect an individual's personal information and text messages, right? It collects a whole group of people's, right?
A whole lot of metadata.
Absolutely, yeah, the metadata. So ultimately, though, is that as that metadata goes to that cell phone tower, they're not just singling out a single person. From my understanding of the way that it collects everything in its entirety, which is everybody's collective information, and then they can sort it from there.
Correct. It falls back also to, and unfortunately, it does fall back to the Patriot Act. Some of it does, but you still have to have a court order to utilize it for whatever purpose you're utilizing it for. And it also falls back to like the old days when you had a cordless phone. Cordless phones are nothing. You can pick a cordless phone up with a scanner. You're transmitting on the airwaves.
So that's not, you don't need a court order, right?
No, you do need a court order to, yeah, you have to have a court order.
Okay.
Depends on the situation, but most of the time, yes, you need a court order.
Can cops solicit a trespass, or is that a policy?
I hate when you guys say that, and it drives me nuts. And Oak and Matt can speak
That's
more.
what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Not to make me nuts because I want money.
No, that's fine. No, it's a fair question, but it's not soliciting a trespass. Right. Oak and Matt, you correct me if I'm wrong. If you walk into a business and simply say, "Do you want these guys on your property?" and the store order says no, that's not soliciting a trespass.
How about
but you have your uniform on? You wear your uniform, full uniform.
Guys, can't listen, both of you.
Do you ask for everyone? Why ask for this person? Is that you saying you can't do that? Do you do that for everyone? No, you're targeting one individual now. Somebody was talking about discretion.
They walk in like this. They walk in like this. Do you want those people on your property or not?
Well, how about
you do that for everyone?
Can I put in a second? So say I'm parked in front of the gas station,
right,
and I notice that there's some homeless dude outside, or anybody really just outside, and they're out there trying to.
I got a car chase going on over here.
Oh
shit!
They walk in like this. Do you want those
They're out
people
there begging for money, or for asking to clean the headlights, or something like that. And the store owner isn't aware of it, but I see it, and I know it's against the city ordinance and everything, or against the law, whatever it is. And I decide I go in there and buy my tobacco or whatever, and I say to the store owner, I say, hey, there's some guy out there, asking for money. Are you cool with him there? And he says, oh no, get rid of that dude. I don't want him scaring my customers.
Why don't you walk in there and say, hey, there's this homeless guy out there that's super desperate, and he's doing a really great service by washing the windshields of all your customers' cars. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, but I mean, like, personally, I don't really care. I don't really care personally, but I know the store owners around here do, and they're gonna call eventually, so I may as well just bring it up now.
Here I come to save the day.
All right. I kind of want to give the chat some time. I want to give the chat some love. Questions from I'm going to ask Matt first. Utah Cop Watch. Question for the cops. I was out riding today behind 2.1% club members. Gang cops followed me for over 20 miles. Other riders went left. I went right. Followed for another 12 miles. I am guessing there's another part to this.
Where's the question? What's the other part where you stopped? I mean, if you're in a rural area and, again,
I just read half your question.
Yeah. I mean, you're in Utah. Utah has a lot of open roads. Did the cop just happen to turn left and go I don't know.
All right. Questions, please throw questions in the chat. Everybody with questions. I want to get to your questions in the chat. That was half a fucking question. So I don't know what the fuck to do with that.
So I think Ogden's saying they were pulled over for no reason. I mean, I can't speak for that officer. I mean, they had to have probable cause to pull you over. There had to be an offense, some infraction on something.
So we already got this answer out of the way, but we have new people coming in.
That's
The big question about arresting bad cops and turning in bad cops. I want to get all three of your responses to that kind of question. We'll start with you, Harry.
Absolutely. I mean, if I see someone doing it absolutely egregious, I'm not going to fudge my report. I'm not going to lie in my report. I mean, and you keep in mind, most frontline officers do not arrest bad cops. There's a process for that. So, would I turn them in? Would I call?
Okay.
Would I turn them in? Yeah. But like I said, I would not physically make their arrest. Have I seen
How
bad
many
officers
have you
arrested?
turned
Yes.
in?
Have I supported their arrest? Absolutely.
How many have you?
I'm sorry.
In? How many have you turned in?
Honestly, zero. I've been very fortunate in my career where I've not had a
Fortunate my
situation.
nuts. You've seen bad behavior.
Joe.
What you define as bad behavior does not translate to turning somebody in. Just because you think something's bad behavior, Joe, doesn't mean it's actually against the law, against the rules.
I would absolutely agree. I would give a motherfucker a chance. I believe you got to cut that out. I would agree with you. But repeated behavior, you've seen that. Egregious behavior, you've seen that. You've seen shit that rise to the level where, you know, if it wasn't for your home and all your job and all shit, that shit was on the line. You say something. Agree
No,
to,
I
yeah?
mean, no, I haven't. In
It
17
looks
years, I have
like
not.
every cop has to see that shit. It looks like it. Even if you're not the one, it looks like every cop has to see it. Because, listen, I go out there, I see cops do misbehavior, put their hands on me, push them. It never pushed me. It has never appeared in the report, ever. So there's 20 bad cops right there. It happens again Tuesday, there's 30 more. This shit is rampant, I have to assume. I watch videos that do the same shit. Nobody files a report. Someone FOIAs it, says that nothing about that in it. This shit is rampant. To me, and the cats that you know, I hang with and watch this crazy shit, we think that shit is rampant.
Right.
And you cats seem like you think it's the rare bird. I can't believe we so far apart on this.
Do you know how many officers are on the U.S., Joe?
Oh, I do not. I just looked up Chicago's yesterday, and I don't even remember that because I'm high.
Isn't it like 600,000?
It's more than that.
No, as of 2018 was the last time it was reported. It was roughly 700,000 officers. Are there bad cops? Yes. Do cops make stupid mistakes? Yes. Should they be turned in? Absolutely. But you're talking about 700,000 officers, and I'm just spitballing this. I would say out of those 700,000 officers, there's probably way less than 5% that are actually bad or doing something that egregious. That's just my opinion on that.
I can go for that, and here is my point behind that. That 5% that are bad and egregious, his buddies are not turning him in ever. In fact, you know, if I do something, I'm sorry, his buddies are not turning him in. Those 5% were caught the hard fucking way when his buddies should have turned him in. If that's what police do, they don't police their own.
That I don't agree with. But see, if you do something bad, Joe, Josh is going to vote you out of the community. That's all I'm saying.
You don't want that.
Find that on tape or something.
I just got in the community and I got kicked out the quickest anyone ever had. For doing nothing wrong but having a successful YouTube channel of over 50,000 views in less than 4 months. That's all I've done wrong. I'm sorry.
Look at No Name hitting the fucking Sky Vodka. Good for you.
Look at you. Good girl. She's getting ready for the Discord after party, aren't you, No Name?
So Ed's got a good question.
You betcha. You betcha.
Ed's got a good question up there. I'm letting Matt and
Wait a minute. I've been here for how long? Right from the beginning, and I haven't even had 5 minutes to talk.
Well, darling Carl.
Jump in, girl. Jump in.
I've been watching your hand motions. They're pretty entertaining.
Well, I'm more like comic relief and boobs, I guess. Seen and but at least I'm a good sport about it. Okay. Well, El Sancho, I would like you to do me a favor. Scroll up in your general chat in Discord and post the 3 links I put. Those are 3 videos that are just part of the normal feeds that I watched today. And I'll talk about them at you.
Peachy, can you grab those from Discord for me? Thank you. Someone from my Discord. So what questions do you have tonight? They're No Name. Why don't you spit some knowledge?
I wanted to kind of talk about those 3 videos.
Okay.
It's just a random sample of the kind of stuff I watched today, but I gotta get right back to the right page.
Okay.
That's fine.
The first one is James McLinnis for Pinellas County Sheriff. This is one of the way to fix bad cops. This shows a bad thing that happened. A guy called 911 because a deputy assaulted him in a courtroom. And they threw him in jail for a month. He lost his job and just about everything.
Okay, I grew up in Clearwater, Florida, Pinellas County. Let me kind of address a little bit of this no name
Okay.
while we're looking for the video.
That's why I asked.
Let me ask you a
I
question.
just saw your
Do
DM,
you know
no
if-
name. I just saw your DM. I'm sorry.
Do you know what?
I was playing with puzzles, no name. I'm sorry.
Sancho, I put up a good cop.
I know. I'm trying to get to everybody's request. I'm only one person. Please, people. Please. James McLyons, is that the one you want me to play?
Yeah, McManus, McMillis, something like that. Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm going to get the CFW's video. We are exhausting these officers being on for over 2 hours.
That's exhausting because they have to go to work tomorrow.
Well, yeah.
Sir, he said he has first-hand knowledge. I want to hear it.
So I'm going to play this. So you want me to play this video, no name, boo-boo?
No, I want you to post the links so they can watch the video later. There's 3 links.
Okay.
So regarding James McManus, he's basically a sob sit who wants to run for sheriff of Pinellas County. And I haven't read this whole case on this. The guy was not assaulted in the court, and I did watch part of it. He was taken into custody. And just because you're taken into custody does not mean you were assaulted. And he was making 911 calls to report an assault that was happened by the deputies to remove him from the courtroom. So McManus, and he likes to show one side of a situation without showing the whole story behind it and what led up to it.
Okay. With the video, you don't have to show the video. Let's just talk. They can watch.
No, go ahead and show the video. I'm fine watching the video.
We can talk over the video, and there's no audio in the video. Just talk over the video, like no name.
That's fine.
Do your thing, girl.
Well, the thing is, at the beginning, they point out that he brought these 3 rocks to court with him to represent his family so that he could be grounded. And when he got up to leave, he forgot to pick them up. And the deputy grabbed him violently and said, "Come back and pick up those rocks." He did not request or verbally say anything first.
All right, hold on. Pierre F., ask any question you want right now, and I will highlight it and make sure it's asked before the show ends. Thank you. Good. Okay, so we're playing the video now.
Okay, for now, you just get to read the text about it. And then this bit here in the middle isn't really going to show much. Just how about if you use your mouse and go down until you see people moving, okay?
Right. Let me post all the links.
Kev say tell you to play his vid.
Everybody wants me to play their vid tonight, and it's like I know there's a lot of people in here.
Got no
fucking I don't want you to play the videos. I just want you to post the 3 links so they can later at their leisure.
I am.
Run over my topic. Could have had it done in 10 minutes.
Are you a mod yet, like no name?
No.
I'll make you a mod, boo boo, if you want me to. Have you been a mod elsewhere?
Links myself. You could give me the mod and take it away.
Okay, well I just posted those links.
Okay.
And Peachy Rider did as well. So we got your back, boo boo.
Okay, well what I wanted to say is this is one of the ways to affect change. He doesn't like the way the police department is running, so he's gonna run to be sheriff.
He lost already.
Okay. Well, I don't know that. I'm not from there, but it's worth a try. I mean, if you don't like that guy in power, run against him.
I agree. I totally agree with that. That's what our Constitution is built on. I got no problem with that.
I'm not sure if I have him in order from memory. And then I had the Eric Brandt thing, where they sent in a reporter to interview him in jail. and she seemed a little biased, almost like they were trying to get away with not having his lawyer there while he was interviewed. But if you know Eric Brandt, he's a little smarter than that. And actually, I think she was flummoxed.
I'm gonna say Eric Brandt is. I mean, as crazy as he is, I mean, he knows better than to speak inside of a jail that without your attorney because it's not privilege.
So, Pierre, the thing you've been dying to say all this time has been Kev doesn't have videos. I don't know if that's what you've been dying to say all this time, but I'm still waiting for you. I mean, for God's sake, can you just give me a little leeway? You've been complaining about them not answering a question. I told you to ask a question. You don't even ask a question. I mean, ask a question. I want your question to be heard and answered tonight. Please, I'm begging you.
Okay, Sancho, let me finish. The third video is.
There we go. Hold on. There he goes.
Okay, the third video is Officer Tatum.
Okay.
Who is a black ex-cop that has a lot of awesome breakdowns on things, and he's just amazing. And I would like to say it's good to watch both sides. And I don't know if you remember Think Like a Cop. He's called Good Luck America now. And he breaks down things really well sometimes about how those officers could have done things better. But I'm still a little confused why convicted felons are heroes, but
What? That's my girl throwing jabs.
that's what we call it here.
It's a real
If you're a
thing.
young dude and you want to learn about police, you go into their Explorer program here. And, you know,
This is one that I want to pose to Liberty Bird, CFW, and Joe Cool both. And I said this the other night that Joe, him and I were talking.
I want to say thank you. I'm done.
No, you're fine, sweetie. Anytime you have questions, Discord or on here, I have no problem answering questions from anybody. But the one thing I pose to all three of you guys, CFW, Bird, and Joe, go to your local police departments, even though no matter, especially Joe, how much you hate them, CFW, how much you hate them. They have.
Wait, I don't hate them. I don't
Let me
hate them.
finish. CFW, let me finish. Okay. They have training for civilians in shoot, don't shoot scenarios, use of force scenarios, and see how different it is being in that situation than having a phone and holding up saying, this is how you're supposed to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll give you a totally new perspective of what a street officer
I'm
does on a
not sure
daily
I
basis.
understand what you're saying. They have shoot, not shoot scenarios. Are you telling me they'll show me what it's like for them to be in that scenario?
Correct. A lot
Exactly.
of back in the day, it was called the FATS machine. It was like a big video game. It's come a long way since then. It's mostly virtual reality now, where
I
you'll be in a
bet they
room.
got no shit like that in the ghetto.
Oh, I guarantee
where
you.
I'm at, Joe.
I guarantee you, Chicago PD has it. But basically,
Oh,
walk
dude,
into a
we
room.
got a place out here I did the painting on called Liberty Firearms Institute.
Yeah.
It's got a 100-yard range, a 50-yard range. Oh, sorry, 250s, 225s, and then these two. They have two 15-yard tacticals though,
Right.
and they also have a machine in there on the tactical side for the very thing that they're talking about there.
Right. Basically, Joe, you walk into a room and it's almost 360, if not at least 180 degrees, where you have screens on both your left, right, and center. And you have a laser gun that's the same as a real gun. It could be a Glock, could be a Beretta, whatever it is, but it shoots a laser rather than bullets.
Right.
And
Could
they
you-
have. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
That's fine, bro. Go ahead.
Could you imagine the amount of views like someone like Joe Cool would get if like he went on like it? So like they have the Explorer program and stuff, and if he did one of these programs and he documented it,
absolutely,
and he had an open mind about it, had an open mind about it, right?
And you can't
And then you came back.
and remind me. Yes.
Could you
And
imagine?
I think, yeah, I agree, and I think Joe has an open mind. I don't. That's why, no matter what Joe says, no matter how bad Joe gets pissed off at me or whatever, I have respect for what Joe does.
I appreciate that, bro.
But I think if you guys did that and you went through scenarios, like I said, it's a movie that plays out in front of you in real time, and it might be someone walking up with their hand in their pocket. It might be someone with a big jacket on. It can be a situation where you have to decide shoot or don't shoot.
Joe,
Tase or don't
hold
tase.
on. This is serious. I have an official offer for Joe Cole. If I was able to set up you to undergo a simulation course and to put it on my channel, would you agree to it?
Oh, I don't fucking know.
You can put it on yours too, but I just want it. I will set it up. Date, time, Liberty will give you my cell.
But
I
it
will
just
set this
sound
up.
be on the whole
I will call. What you give me?
No,
two
you know
please.
what? Fuck that. No.
I want you to. I think you'd be admirable.
I'm down for it, but apparently no, that just came about fucking wrong.
No, fair enough. Joe, hold on one second. Sancho, hold on one second. And Pierre, I'll get your question in a second.
You scared? You scared?
Sancho, stop for 1 second.
Sancho.
There's a question on the screen I got to answer because my head's going to fucking explode. It's regarding the anarchists. Just posted a message. These cops won't even identify themselves. They have something to hide, suspicious, so to speak. Personally, go fuck yourself. Regarding that, why? With I shouldn't say you people. What people do in this community, they love doxing cops. They love filing complaints that are frivolous for no reason. Why? We want to help you guys live or not.
I'm against that shit.
And I know you
I'm
are, Joe. And I know
against
Liberty
that
is too. But you know as well, especially there's a lot of your friends that love doing that shit. Okay. We want to help. We want to be part of this community.
He's right. Leave him alone.
Okay. We have no problem chiming in with our opinions, what we feel, what we think. Okay. We're not going to put ourselves out there and let you fucking dox us and our families. And what's funny is, and I'll speak for my agency, you guys are making changes that you're not going to like.
Right.
We're not required to identify ourselves anymore. They're taking our nameplates off our uniforms and giving numbers. So you want my number?
I read about that.
There's my number. Okay. So these are changes you guys are making that you're not going to like. Our families are not officers. Our kids are not officers. If I do something at work that I fuck up on, I'll take full ownership on that. But you do not have a right to stake my house out and threaten my fucking family.
Yes, that's street code too. Families is off limits, all of that bullshit. We share the same code.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest though. Like every cop that I come in contact with that ultimately tries to present a criminal case against me, dude, I don't dox them, but I definitely run a full background check on all of them. Like I know every discretion. I know where they live. You know, I'm not going to go sit out in front of the. No, for real, I'm not going to go sit in front of their. No, absolutely, because I want to know the type of characters I'm dealing with. You know, some people make bad decisions. Other people have a habit of or a history of making bad decisions, right? But however, but I'm just telling you, like you get all because that's where you get all the. That's when you run a background check, you get all the information. So the thing is, though, is that
it just everything else.
It does. But this is the thing. I'm not going to go sit outside your house.
Right, but there are people that would. What the hell is that?
Someone broke a clock.
Yeah.
All right, I need to get to Pierre's question after Harry finishes his.
Wait, I got something to say because there's somebody in the comments that's talking about they're complaining. They're saying how is it that for example Harry's agency, they're taking their names off their badges and they don't have to identify themselves. We do. Well, first of all, we do have a policy of identifying our badge numbers and whatever a lot of places. Also, too, there are people out there trying to do you harm just because of the uniform that you wear, the job that you do every day.
Yep, Beanie. Beanie was the one asking that, correct?
Right. And going back to finish up with Liberty Bird, yes, you're right. You can't get information right now, but in the future, I guarantee you, a lot of that information is going to be redacted. You'll get his employee number. You'll get his complaint history. But you will no longer get his physical address where you can do a full background check on him. And that's just coming down the road.
All right. So Pierre, this is the big question of the night for Pierre. Did
the
cops in Joe's video do anything wrong in your opinion, behavior-wise, investigative-wise, etc.? Officer Oak, Matt, then Harry. Oak, go.
Shit. I was trying to find a video. Did the cops in Joe's video do anything wrong in your opinion? I think they hung around too long. I mean, I can't knock them for doing their job and investigating something that they thought could have been a crime, or could have been something suspicious that may have been a crime before they got there. But I mean, once I pulled up and I realized that they're just assholes, then I would have been like, well, there ain't nothing wrong with being an asshole, and I would have left.
Yeah.
That
It's a good thing I'd be serving life
Hey,
sentences.
you notice how all of those cops do not agree with your approach, though? That's the norm. You seem like a cool cat, but most cops are like that.
Well, they eventually left, but I mean,
Yeah.
they stuck around too long. I mean, and I guess it depends on how long it takes them to dispel their suspicion. For me, I mean, like I said, I've got a lot of assholes that live around me, and a lot of crazy people that do weird things. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with being crazy or being an asshole. I mean, that's
What
part of
about
life.
blocking us in? That was cool too. That was just wise. We could have had a gun and we could have tried to run. Them
No,
blocking
I
us
wouldn't.
in.
I wouldn't have
That's
blocked you
aggressive as
in.
fuck.
I wouldn't have blocked you in because at that point I've effected an arrest. I've stopped your movement. Um, which you know, it depends on what level they feel they were at, but I don't think they would be able to justify,
Yeah, they was chilling
having
till
a.
he saw that flash. So they was just chilling till they saw that flash, and they just immediately he said they were gonna do it.
But then again,
I
I
said
didn't see
they
the
would
first.
not. I said they
I
would not. I was wrong. I was wrong.
Yeah, I didn't see the first part of what happened with you guys' interaction with them,
Oh
and
yeah, we
and,
was
and
out with a car for whatever reason. I don't know. He took a bird, pointed out the cops to me. I told him to take a picture.
yeah,
He
Yeah, the cops were probably about, I'd say, 150 yards away from
yeah,
where
they
we
yeah.
were
I
were.
pretty
mean,
far.
Yeah.
like for all I know, that the cop could have been thinking, "Why is he taking our picture?" Like maybe he fucking put something on our car or something. I don't fucking know. I mean, I'm not. I don't. Maybe they have a
What's up,
problem with people
GA?
putting shit on their cars. I don't know. I mean, I'm not that cop.
Ooh,
I don't live
All
in
nice
right.
that city.
GA, baby,
Okay.
nice. Look at GA.
Okay. So you saw the private chat. My question. I'm thinking you guys are moving too much to everybody all citizens are our enemies. Like
No, we're not.
the bottom of my
No,
question.
this is
Look
what
at
GA
this.
conversation about to lead. And I think I wanted to go there. He say, do any of these guys think their job is still noble? Right? Because
Absolutely.
we think,
Yes.
they are the scum of the
Yes.
earth. And I'm not afraid to
They're
admit
afraid of
it.
every
Niggas
citizen.
is in the streets riding over this
I
shit,
think they're trigger happy.
protesting across the world. Do you guys
Well,
still think your job is noble?
I think that's a. I don't think that question can be answered by any one person. If you're a scumbag cop and you go around lying
Grr,
and stealing,
grr.
then well, hang on, don't grr at me. Then your job isn't very noble because you're not a noble person. But if you're there protecting people, helping people, arresting the people who need arrested, and doing your job to the best of your abilities,
Then you might be the bird, and you can do that as a civilian. You don't even have to be a
I
cop.
haven't met very many cops that act like they're a human. They act more like I'm better than you. And
The
that's
That's the
just
well,
perception,
perception of
though.
cops is not
they
noble
strut.
anymore, or is it?
the perception.
Yes.
I think that this is a very niche and small community of people that aren't okay with cops. I know that it's getting bigger now that George
It's
Floyd and everything
okay,
has happened.
okay. Thank you. Give me some concessions here, baby. It's getting massive now. It's
It's
crazy.
the training needs to change. I think the
If
training
you
needs to.
niggas trip, if you accidentally was tying your shoe and the old black lady tripped and fell over you, you get sued. You be on TV the next day.
Joe Cole, let's have the three, Matt. We're gonna start with you. Let's kind of address reasonable suspicion standard. Is it not what the reasonable suspicion person thinks? Is it based on what the reasonable officer in a similar situation thinks is reasonable?
Yeah, it has to do. So, reasonable suspicion has to do with a reasonable officer, and it has to do with if they suspect that a crime has been or is going to be committed. So, it's the same thing for probable. The only difference between ARS and probable cause is a reasonable person versus a reasonable officer with
They're pretty
their
close.
training and experience. So
Even the
that
court system can't separate them yet.
I'm glad that he made that distinction because I thought it was the other way.
They're still really close, Joe, and even the Supreme Court hasn't made a decision on which is which.
Actually, they have.
Well, I
Yeah.
would say it's not a big deal, guys, because I was just arrested.
Oh,
Again?
You know what I mean? And my reasonable suspicion was that I was filming on a public street
yeah.
Is
that
this
was now private.
Bert, is it the CDC one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you got arrested again. I'm like, fuck, bro. What do you do now?
No, dude. I don't make a habit of that. I promise.
Well, I don't know about that, but okay.
I mean, like, I got a history, but it's man, 20 years in the running, bro. Like,
Bro,
I
I'm
think
just
I'm
fucking
on
with
All
you.
right, the
year
cops hung
19.
around too long. I'm sorry. The cops hung around too long. What else did they do? Run them off, guys. Did you see a lot of shit wrong in there? Run them off. Just what the cops did wrong.
Their attitudes, I mean, they were harsh, but I mean, kind of goes back to what CFW says about her perception of officers aren't always friendly. If someone's a dick to us, we don't have to keep a smile on our face. We have to be professional. We have to be respectful. But I don't have to be a Walmart greeter and coddle you and say, okay, buddy, that's good. Go ahead. I mean, we're humans also.
I'm not asking for an accuracy, but they are. Does that make sense?
Well, let me CFW, and let me say this: like some departments are very, like mine, the one that I work at, because of the area we work in. We're a little bit more public service oriented than a lot of like we respond to certain calls that other departments may not, because they've got a high volume of, for example, high crime. Like for example, calls. So versus us, where we don't have that same call volume, so we can go out to something that may not be as big on the grand scheme of things versus because again we have the manpower and the resources to do that.
But do you see the reasons why the black community really hates the police right now? Do you understand?
That's a good question. Do you guys see that?
Absolutely, and it actually was a question that Sancho gave to us earlier, which we were going to finish up on. Was we were going to finish up earlier. Was what's the number one thing as a cop I would like to see changed? And quite honestly, it's back to foot patrols and beats and knowing your community.
That's what
it would certainly help. That's the first
Absolutely.
thing.
Is that you guys put all your cops, all your resources into black neighborhoods.
Every time they come over here, whenever there's a new person, try that foot patrol shit, I immediately introduce myself and tell them it's good to see y'all out here doing this every day. They've done this before and it deteriorates quickly. You officer so and so, my name is Joe. I got a fucking channel. Let's stay in touch. And sure enough, immediately when those head guys aren't there, it is the exact same behavior. Nothing's changed. You go get the head guy and you tell him, hey, this is what's going on. He say, okay, thank you. Hey, guys, you can't park on the curb. And he leaves. It's the same behavior. There's no sincere attempt to change this shit. None, which is why black motherfuckers is so angry.
Have you ever gone to a tournament of affairs and tried to report something? I have.
I went through all of that shit.
I did it one time because I was treated like I was the wrong.
I'm still waiting for one that's almost a year old. This internal affair investigation that I've been FOIAing every month, and they say not yet released, not yet released. It's going to be a year in October.
When
Sancho, I sent you
that shit. I ain't did it since I've been cop watching. When I was young, I did that shit. I ain't filed one complaint.
I've been following
cop watching.
Yep.
I sent you a video.
I know. Listen,
sustained.
8 people have sent me fucking videos ever since CFW asked for a video.
But I'm old.
8 people have texted me videos. 8 fucking people want me to play. People who I don't even know had my number are texting me links for videos to play.
Listen, but that's a really good video.
You wanted me to give out your number.
Listen, man. Jesus Christ.
That's a really good video, Sancho.
Right. Okay.
I think Joe would like it.
Carolina was the first one to ask to play. And
I've never asked you all this time.
You're not going to copyright strike me, right?
No.
All right, I got to ask. I got PTSD.
I got to show my ID. I got so much flack for showing my ID. So much flack.
We're going to play this in Oak, Harry, and Matt. We're going to have you guys respond, okay?
Yeah. I like this from Matt.
I like your intros, I will say that.
Yep.
Uh-oh, here we go. Question marks.
Oh, you can skip through.
Where's the seatbelt?
Oh, yeah.
Where's the seatbelt?
Oh, this is a different one. This is a good cop.
Is this old? Is this old?
This is a good cop.
This is old?
This is a good cop. Oh, well. You said I never put good cops up.
Want to see what my magic camera does? If I walk up, they all scatter. Okay, watch this, you guys. Extra Good Citizen thinks that he's really good at making cops scatter, but I think I'm better at it. All I gotta do is just walk up towards them with my camera, and they're gonna scatter. Probably.
usually.
They're parked in a fire lane.
Yeah, they're parked in a fire lane.
Damn it, limit ticket.
This is not
Where's
the
Glenn
this
Syria when
is
you
not
need
the
him?
video I was talking about, but that's okay, Sancho.
This is what you sent me.
Yeah, this is the one where it was a good. You said I never make good videos.
1, 2, 3 for one shoplifter. Now they're gonna powwow here and waste some more time. Tax lawyers at work.
I'm
So
gonna eat my words in a
3
minute.
cops for one shoplifter. Right? Now they're gonna hang out for the one-off. So they're making like $65,000 a year.
The colluding.
Yeah.
About 65 to 70,000 a year. And this is what we get.
A bird's fan.
Oh,
Yeah, when they could be like,
negativity.
Carolyn. That's what's crazy. It takes 3 of y'all to write one shoplifting ticket. How'd you know my name? How'd you know my name? I'm not even in my hometown. You got a bowler report on me or something?
No, I know you.
Oh my
Where?
God.
From another
I'm on the weird list.
Oh yeah? Was it a good video or a bad video?
Nice to meet you, ma'am. I'm Officer Bill.
Nice to meet
I
you.
appreciate you what you do.
Really?
Yep. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Making sure that we're held accountable out here, so I appreciate it.
Very good.
Well, if good ones like you, it's the bad ones that are going to get y'all hurt.
Hey,
Ooh.
and I respect that. Like I said, I tell everybody I have no problem with Fox 4 News videotaping me or good people like yourself videotaping us. We're out here doing the right thing.
I'm having a heart attack. Can you help me?
Parked in a fire lane.
Can you please help?
If I could
Irons.
retire tomorrow, if y'all spread the word, I could retire tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Definitely
every
good.
cop was like that. Why would I get out
All
of
right.
bed?
Yeah, that was cool.
I got one more.
Oh, God.
Guys, easy on the personal attacks and stuff. Come on, this is a really good.
Oh, are they
really
saying
good
talking
channel.
about me? I hope not.
No, they're not talking about you. I don't want to
I'm
talk about
about to say
anybody.
it flew past me. Maybe I'm
Don't
high.
talk about me. I don't care.
Hey,
No,
But you
it's
know-
not about you guys. I just
No,
don't
okay.
want it. All right, let's.
oh, go ahead.
Do you want them to comment on that video, CFW?
No, because that wasn't the one I wanted you to play, but that's okay. We'll play the other one another time. But I got ID for walking in the street because he just wanted to know who I was. But it was just that was on that other conversation.
And
So it's
you
okay.
gave up your ID? I
I
can't
had to. I was
believe
in
it.
Austin, and
No way.
Yeah.
Never give up. I'm
I was
kidding.
not gonna- I was not gonna-
Kidding.
I was
All
like,
right.
I would have want my car towed, and they had guns, and I didn't want to
I
get tripped again.
understand that shit, all of that. Yes.
All right. All right,
I'd
this
give
is-
mine up for some pussy, CFW. And if a nigga question me, I'd lose my fucking mind.
I hate that.
So Oak has many requests tonight. Oral was one of them. You welcome.
Well,
And this was another one to play this video. This is a one-night appearance for Officer Oak. So I'm going to play this video
Oh,
for
gosh.
everything then and get everyone's thoughts on it after, okay?
Radio 37, 1081. Radio 37, 1081.
Radio 37 parked at marker 68 off I-16.
10-4, Radio 37. Your wife's on the line. You want to
That'd be great. Thanks, Dave.
The first part's kind of not really necessary, but once we get into the
today?
Long. How's the home front?
Oh, thrill a minute. Amanda's been a handful.
Well, she just misses her daddy. Isn't that right? You just miss your daddy, don't you?
Maybe. I think she just misses that nasty old blanket you threw away.
nuh-uh.
Hey, did you remember to get the photos?
I sure did.
And how'd they come out?
Great. They look great.
My hair isn't a mess, is it?
Oh, you know when I say they look great, I mean I look great. Because you know how everyone's saying I'm the pretty one in this marriage.
Come on, don't be mean.
No. You look beautiful. You both look beautiful.
Well, now I know you're full of it. All right, Road Warrior, hurry home. Dinner's gonna be ready in 20.
Uh-oh.
Aye, aye, Captain. Love you.
You too.
Don't show
Thanks,
the
Dave.
kids. What does that mean?
I'm
Oak?
free.
10-4, 37.
I don't know.
Have a good one.
You too.
Are there kids involved in this, Oak?
No.
No.
Fuck you, Odin.
What is that?
Radio
Radio 37 dispatch. Radio 37 dispatch.
Go ahead, 37.
1049 out on I-16, Dave. Red Nissan pickup. Guys all over the road.
10-4. You want to take him or hand him off?
No, I'm gonna take it. This guy's liability is gonna hurt somebody.
All right. Easy.
Will do. Come on, buddy. Lights are on. I got you.
It's not a movie, Sancho. It's a recreation.
It really did happen, though.
Yeah.
Oh, this is real?
Oh,
This is not. It's a recreation of an actual event.
Oh shit!
All right, thanks.
Red Nissan pickup, late 80s, Georgia plate 4 Kilo 47 Mike Alpha.
It says cinema right there. Y'all fucking with me?
No, it's a recreation. Apex put it back together. They did. The
Oh yeah, it's a
recreation.
recreation.
Sir,
That's what I was telling all.
Put up
It's a
there for me.
recreation.
How you doing today?
Hey, pause it.
Oh, this
you?
is I know this video.
I'm
I've seen
good.
it.
Step away from your car and keep your hands out of your
Can you
pocket.
pause it?
Yeah.
So this is Kyle Dinkholler, right? Is that who
I
this
forget the
is?
name, but there. I didn't want to show the real one because it's kind of gruesome.
Oh,
but this is
well,
very
it's
gruesome.
it's Georgia officer, right? With the veteran. Yep.
Yeah.
He showed that to. I've seen that video so many times and over my training and everything in college too.
All right. So auditors, what are you guys thinking right now?
I just think it's hilarious that
I'm thinking I would have pulled on this guy already, man. As soon as he started reaching for his pocket, I would have pulled out on him.
Well, I
I
mean,
think I would have thrown.
not knowing what you know, me saying it's gruesome and all like an idiot. I mean, what?
No, knowing what I know is that you just seen him fucking recklessly fucking pass by you, fucking cutting off other vehicles, right? He didn't pull over immediately, takes a side road, and then hops out of his vehicle. I'm thinking that all those things are suspicious enough. Then he starts reaching in around his jacket. I'm thinking I would have put 2 fucking dots on him and just, waited for a second. And like, yo.
Nobody deserves to get an honorary
why?
badge.
This is in response to all the dead people they killed.
Dude, I mean, that looks like a threat to me. Like already in the stance the dude's taking. I'm just saying.
All right. Anyone that wants to say pause, just say pause when you want to.
Yeah.
It's gonna situation's gonna change pretty quickly.
I'm gonna say pause when it's time to shoot.
For those
All right.
for those who are offended by anything, this is a recreation. So
You guys, well, hang on. Just say shoot when it's time to shoot.
who me?
All right, got it.
Me?
Anyone.
No, yeah.
Anyone.
This is,
Sir. Keep your hands out of your pocket, sir.
All right, Joe.
Blow me.
Joe, don't say blow me. I want you to yell shoot when you think it's time for the officer to shoot. How about that?
All right, I'm gonna actually try to focus. All right, go ahead.
Are you able to focus, or you want me to give this
Barely,
up to the
Jeff,
CFW?
Jeff,
All right, let me give the gun to CFW. All right, CFW, you're gonna be the one. You ain't okay. All three of you.
I would have drove right past him and let somebody else take care
All
of it.
three of you are going to be able to say the word shoot when you
Okay.
think it's acceptable to
All
shoot.
right,
Well, you're giving us too many clues.
all right.
Now, do you guys want me to slow-mo this?
No, I'd rather see it regular speed, slow. I think
You got to yell shoot. You got to yell shoot.
Yeah, we gotta go back. Yeah.
So we'll just play normal speed, bro. Real time.
All right.
Here we go.
I'm good. You? I'm good. Step away from your car and keep your hands out of your pocket, sir. Why? Keep your hands out of your pocket, sir.
Fuck you, goddamn! Why shoot my ass?
Sir,
right here.
Sir.
Here
Stop.
I am.
Get back here,
I'm
sir.
right here, huh? Here I am, right here. Right here.
Radio
What do you
37
need,
1078,
huh?
Radio
Hey,
37
hey,
Sir,
who you talking to?
damn it, sir, get out of my face.
Y'all didn't say shit yet, huh?
Hell,
I would have shot. I would have shot him right there.
Right. He ain't got no weapon to undo it.
He ran towards an officer.
Fuck that
Bro.
nigga.
What?
Bro,
I would have shot him.
self-defense. You can always one-up somebody,
Wait
Joe.
a minute, no. If somebody
Yes,
run at me, can I
yes,
shoot him?
self-defense.
Isn't-
I'm not even
can I
looking at it
run
from a
at-
cop's
can I shoot
perspective
at a
right
nigga
now.
run at me?
He
What
charged
kind of
Dude.
crazy shit is that? What
Dude,
should an
soon as
officer be able to do
soon
that?
as soon as he was within reaching distance, I would have pulled.
Would you have tased or
Okay,
shot
I
him?
understand.
No,
that.
no. Well, I
All
mean, if
right.
I was a cop and I had a taser, I would have definitely
tased
deployed a
him first.
taser. But I'm a civilian. Okay, I don't carry tasers. I carry pistols.
Okay.
If you got your pistol, you'd have shot him too. As a
Dude, soon as he
civilian?
was soon as he breached that 2.5 foot gap and he could actually reach out and touch me, and the speed that he was coming, yes, I would have dispatched him.
Man, that should never be allowed for that shit, bro.
Ex-bootlicker, yes, he called for backup.
Because he's scared to fight or something.
What do you think, guys? Am I going to jail? I just shot prematurely, huh?
No, I think
no,
you're
I
good
think
right
you
there.
get off, bro. You get off.
Wow. I mean, let's kind of rewind a little bit. I mean, CFW, where are you? So I think CFW is hiding under the police car right now.
Yeah.
Do you know how to fire? I mean,
Yeah. My sister's a champion skeet shooter. She's number 2 in the country.
Huh?
My sister's a champion skeet shooter.
Well, why were you quiet this whole
I
time?
might have hit that dude in his face or something, but I wouldn't have shot him.
He came so fast, I probably wouldn't have had time to shoot.
Like I said, I would have already been pulled out on him.
Yeah, he probably would have been holding him at gunpoint.
Here I am, right here.
Right here. Radio 371078, Radio 3710.
Hey,
Sir!
who you calling, goddammit?
Sir, get out of my face!
Huh? Fuck you, what are you shoot my ass in?
Sir, I am not gonna ask again. Get
You know what?
back!
Fuck you, goddammit! I'm a Vietnam goddamn combat veteran, and I am not taking any shit from you, motherfucker.
Get back here!
Matt, are we bringing extra cautionary care because we know there's a mental health situation going on, Matt?
So, well.
Oh, I did not know.
So, just watch the rest of the video. We'll talk about it because I know a bunch about this because it happened in Georgia and it's something they showed in our academy.
All right, let's go.
They showed in ours also.
Get
17
back here,
years
sir!
ago.
Fuck you! Sir, get away from the car! Get away from the vehicle, sir!
All right, now it's time to work.
Sir, I'm not gonna ask you again. Last warning! Sir!
Pause it.
Radio 37, suspect is armed! Suspect is armed!
Is he armed for reals?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
CFW, what are you doing?
I'd be.
Are we talking or are we shooting, CFW?
I'm still talking because I'm behind the door now.
Jesus. All right.
Door ain't gonna stop a bullet.
Doors aren't bulletproof. Doors aren't bulletproof.
He's being very patient.
She's being really patient.
Gonna save her.
What about you, Joe?
I said, I think the cop's doing well. He's being very patient. He took a defensive position, even though those doors don't stop bullets. He's being super
Now he's waiting for a gun to be
He gets
raised.
an A fucking plus.
He's waiting for that gun to rise.
Exactly. Then you pop his ass. I'm waiting for the gun to rise.
What
if he's quicker?
But they're trying to make
He's
him look like a family.
He's a fucking Vietnam vet. He's a Vietnam vet. He's gonna outshoot you.
And this guy's a family man with a family and a wife and everything, so they're trying to make him look better than the guy.
Well, I guess don't bring a pistol. No, don't bring a pistol to a fucking rifle fight. I think this is probably the lesson to learn here.
I disagree. He's being patient. Stay patient.
Yeah, but Joe, he's got a pistol and this guy's got a rifle and he's a Vietnam vet. He's got a lot more training. He's killed people probably.
Just
if he's in Vietnam, yeah.
I can't even see the weapon. Didn't even know he had a rifle.
You can't see the weapon yet either.
Let's get through the rest of the video, and then because I know a lot about this situation, if I can kind of
play it.
give the backstory and actually kind of what happened in the real.
Hey, Matt, how old are you?
Right on. So let's watch the
How
video
old is
first.
Matt? How old is Matt?
Jesus, CFW. She's been asking that for an hour.
I have been.
I say he's 24, 25.
Okay.
22.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Sir, I'm not gonna ask you again. Last warning! Sir! Radio 37, suspect is armed! Suspect is armed!
Joe, you
Sir,
shooting?
drop that
Joe, you
gun!
shooting?
Shoot me!
Joe,
Sir, drop the gun now!
Shoot! No?
As soon as that weapon went up, he should have Oh!
How could he miss him that many times?
Oh!
You hit him.
Mind you, it's harder to hit something with a pistol. You're going to lose 60% of your accuracy in action.
Oh, man, Bill, they suck. I've done it. They suck.
Where'd he go? He's gonna come up behind him.
Uh-oh, CFW's hiding still.
Oh, shit! Oh,
Oh no!
shit! Please God, don't do this. Please, stop. No.
You just got to eat your arm, right?
He's actually shot multiple times.
Radio 37, 1081.
Radio 37, 37, 1033. I'm down. I'm hit. I'm off the I-16 mile past Market 38. Stand back. No, no, please. I have a wife and
I'm starting to feel like I'm glad a motherfucker showed me
Die,
the recreation, the reenactment.
Oh. Wow.
Comply now, complain later.
Wow. I say we put it. Why did you miss all those shots on it first? We emptied the gun. He needs more training.
I mean, he is a Vietnam veteran. Doesn't his office like hold a higher authority?
He missed every single one of those shots.
No, he was
fired.
hit.
All right, all jokes
All right,
aside,
so
let's get the breakdown.
all right, so the real scenario. So Kyle Dinkyler he was an officer in Georgia. I don't remember for which department, but I encourage y'all to go look up the actual body cam video. Or I mean, it's not body cam because they didn't have body cam back then; they had dash cam, but it's pretty disturbing. So you don't see the part where he drove. For him, the reason for him being pulled over. All you see is when he gets, he's got him pulled over. And so, Kyle gets out of his car and he's, telling this dude, keep your hands out of your pockets, whatever. And the guy starts acting all wild and crazy and he runs up there and then he does go and back to his truck and he pulls out, I think it's an M1 carbine was the rifle that he had in his car. And he raises the rifle up and they shoot at each other. And they shot, and what the video kind of didn't get right was there was an exchange of gunfire, and the guy went back to his car, and Kyle, after he'd been shot the first time, he returned fire again, and then the guy came back up, shot him several times, and then he said, and it got it on video, you can hear the guy who he is a Vietnam veteran say, "Die fucker," and then shoot him in the head. And it came out again later, they figured.
It was some of the
So why did they use this for training? Like, what were they trying to do?
The lesson I taught you. If you would have shot him when I said shoot, he wouldn't have went back to a truck to get a gun.
So
Shoot
the
first.
Kyle, the reason he was, well, we don't know, but we can infer Kyle had a use of force complaint upon him. I don't remember what it was for. I think it was for him pulling his weapon on somebody in a situation. Well, that was probably the reason why he did not pull out his weapon sooner and engage the guy.
So, they're trying to say, every human is, they're trying to say you guys got to shoot first, or it's going to be you. You guys got to get them.
No, that's not what they're trying to say. They're trying to say, obviously you can't. There are certain situations where you cannot hesitate. Or else you'll get killed.
I
and
think
that's what
did
Liberty
perfect.
Bird said.
If he'd pulled everything out before that and did shit prematurely, it might have saved his life, but it would have been an error. He caught that 1 in a million struck of lightning, and now everybody want to change the possibility because it could happen. So therefore, everything was strange off a lightning strike when they won't address the fucking issue at hand.
Well, Joe, let's look at what was that guy's name? Jake or something? The dude that got shot in the back, Blake.
Yep, Jacob Blake.
Yeah, that guy.
The guy in Phoenix?
Almost the same, not the same situation, obviously, but he dives into a car almost the same way. What are you diving in the car for?
Who gives a fuck? You cannot kill him if it's a fucking wallet, an ID, a butter knife. You cannot kill him just because something might. I'm sorry.
So we gotta wait
to teach them not to hesitate.
Yes, you
You should-
absolutely can't kill someone. Why is this not obvious? This is why I'm getting so passionate.
The thing is the totality of the circumstances in both situations. You know, when he saw the gun, he hadn't raised it yet. You know, do we wait? How many times do
Are
we
we
push
talking
back
about
the
the guy
line?
with the rifle?
Was it when
or
he
we talking
dived in
about
the
the
car?
Jason Blake? Which
No,
one?
no. It actually, proven fact, a lot of officers actually wait until the rifle or the firearms raised.
Yeah, and I mean, should you? I mean,
Well,
where do you
shouldn't
draw the
know.
line?
I
If you
personally do
can't
not
make
think
that
so.
decision, you should not be a cop. If you
Exactly.
Well, I'm
want
asking you. I'm
Because
asking you,
to,
Joe.
if you cannot wait till that shit is raised, you should not be a cop.
That's where you're wrong.
All the people
Joe, well, that guy died.
No,
So
that's where we disagree. That's not where I'm wrong.
You
No,
know,
you are
all-
100% wrong.
I gotta say something.
I
All the people
know it.
that
I think you
Joe,
are.
we don't have to wait. Caroline,
You don't
1
have
second,
to
please.
wait
Joe, 1
because
second.
someone is
We
giving
don't
you
have.
some godlike abilities and the ability to do so. But we just gonna keep going there. Morally, you cannot just shoot a motherfucker because they tell you that you better wait for the fucking arm, right? What if this guy?
Firearm in hand?
Let's go here. Let's
yes,
go here.
because
Let's go
all the
here,
people
Joe.
that the
What
cops
if a
killed last year.
motherfucker tells you? What if a motherfucker tells you?
Joe, firearm in hand.
Wait, Bird. What if a motherfucker tells you gays, it's illegal to be gay, lock them cats up? Is your argument then? What is your argument then? If hey, that's my you use the same argument.
well, that's
Even though
different, Joe.
Joe,
That
we're
has
not
nothing
talking
to do with
about
anything.
splitting
Well,
cheeks
here's
here, dude.
my
We're talking
argument.
about taking life. It's very
you
different.
answering the
And the
cop's
use of
question
reasonable
again, Bird.
force.
You're
Okay?
answering the cop's question again. I'm
No,
just
I'm
saying.
not, man. I'm answering a
I asked
self-defense
them.
question, dude.
I
All
asked
the people
them.
that they killed last year, only half of them had a weapon, and the rest of the other half didn't. So when you guys didn't hesitate, you killed half the people they killed last year did not have a weapon.
One-upping.
Joe,
Half of
say
them
Do you guys
did not
understand the
have weapons.
concept of that? Do you understand the concept of? So let me explain it to you like this, okay? If you come at me like, just say I'm at my house, right? And you come at me all crazy and you try to punch me in the face, and I have a knife right there, and I have a kid behind me and a wife behind me that I fear may or may not be attacked. You know, who knows what the circumstances are, right? And I stab a dude. Okay, that's self-defense. I just one-up them. Okay, I just evened out the fucking fight.
Right.
It's
Okay.
really easy.
I agree with
Threat
that.
solved. Now,
I'm
hold
just
on.
I agree.
Say
We
he
all
has
agree.
say he has a knife, or he even doesn't have a knife, and I have a gun. Okay, and he runs up and he gets 2 fucking feet from my fucking face, ready to strike me
Right.
with potentially a bottle that could potentially, you know, create serious harm or something, right? I pop him. You know, like it's unfortunate, but I have the ability to one up. Cops are no different. Cops still have the ability to one up you. The
You
problem
put
that
the
I see,
situation in your house, first of all, with your wife and children. Don't put it out there with a cop like it's equal.
it
All right, well,
is
Joe.
because they're actually having to engage, dude. You don't understand that every situation.
I
Okay,
understand that was a bad analogy, attempted equivalent. It was bad.
I'm just saying, like they have the same fucking understanding to self-defense as we do. There's no reason for us to limit a cop's
No,
self-defense
you
ability.
know they do not. They have godlike powers. I wish they did have the same. I wish the
let's
same
take
way
out.
I can't just shoot a motherfucker. They can just shoot a motherfucker. The same
You
laws
actually
that
can,
apply
Joe.
to me
You
apply
actually
to
can.
them.
You'll have to pay for it in court. You don't have the union to back you. Okay, but yes, you
Well, I gotta
absolutely
pay for
can in
some shit
self-defense shoot a
justice in
motherfucker.
court. What the fuck is that about?
It's the fucking wicked system that's created amongst us.
Agreed.
What do you think? It's the
Can I?
officers that the officers are the fucking reason why the court system's fucked up?
Can I get a word in?
Yeah, man.
Yes.
So Joe, I mean, let's take out all the confusion, all the other circumstances. Let's make it, break it down Barney style, right? And apply your logic. Say you're, I don't know. Say you're at like you're meeting up with somebody, right? And there's a gun on the trunk, and for whatever reason you have a disagreement, and that person lunges for that gun. Do you need to wait for him to get the gun and point it at you before you pull your gun and shoot him?
Oh no, if he's lunging for it, then that's a different. But if he casually walk over there, I'm waiting for the arm. If he running toward it and all that, that changes things.
Well, I mean, isn't that what happened in the video?
No, in a video, I think I saw him standing there, and he had the opportunity to wait till he raised the arm, and he did. I think that's what I saw. If we're talking about the long arm.
I don't know if you got
Well,
a
the
gun
other
in your
guy, the
hand
Jason
and
Blake,
I
was
tell you to put it
obviously
down.
wrong, though, right? The Jason Blake was obviously there. Jacob, whichever one it is, was obviously wrong, though, right? He didn't wait for no fucking gun to come up. He didn't
Doesn't
wait
have
for
to.
nothing.
Doesn't
He was
have
just
to.
so hypothetically there might be a gun in the car. So
Joe,
I'm
you have
They had
this
a knife already.
Joe, you have this misconception that we have to wait to be attacked before we can respond. That's the
no,
furthest from the truth.
No, my only misconception. I realize that you guys can do whatever you want. I
No, we
realize
can't.
that you have the system
Could
slammed in your behavior.
Could we
I
get
give
No
you
Name
that.
in here?
I
Could we
see
get
that.
Could we
I
get like
know
No
that.
Name to respond? Like, do you have a response on No Name? Because you got to jump in.
Response.
No Name. Dame beso, No Name. Let's go. Vamos.
God damn it.
Come on, No Name.
Vámonos.
Speak your mind, girl. What's going on
Vámonos.
over there? What's going on over there?
Don't you know Spanish?
Espanol. Let's go.
Hablas español.
What's on your mind then, No Name? You've been quiet this whole time.
Well, yeah, I've been
Staring at Joe Cool's sexy ass.
women get to be seen and not heard. I'm sorry.
Well, let's go.
You're
Now-
damn right.
Go ahead.
Well, do I get to actually talk this time?
Go ahead, girl.
Okay, I posted 3 of my heroes on the thing. The guy that's running for Pinellas.
Right, we already addressed that, No Name. We already addressed those 3 links.
What?
We already addressed those 3 links you sent.
Yeah, but I didn't get to hear the answer. Joe Poole talked over it.
All right, Joe, put yourself on mute. What's your question, No Name?
Who is the guy that actually lives in Pinellas that understands this issue?
Matt, do you know?
That's me.
Okay.
Harry.
Go ahead, Harry.
Like I said, McManus, like I always get his name mixed up. He's basically a sobsit who is actually anti-law enforcement. I don't know the whole story behind all this case. From what I read of the headline of his video was the guy felt he was assaulted in the courtroom for not picking up his rocks, which represented his family for whatever reason. That's fine. The cop, he kept calling 911 to file a police report when there was no crime. That's why he was.
No, there was a crime. The deputy grabbed his shoulder violently and turned him around and told him he needed to pick up those rocks without any prior verbal intercation.
That's his interpretation. That's what he says. I have not seen the video of it. I personally have a hard time believing that. I don't know.
Well, it does not seem right that a deputy could grab him by the shoulder and turn him around. And then what? He got 30 days in the clinker and lost his job and all his other stuff.
For abusing 911, though. Just because a deputy touches you, just because an officer touches you, that's not assault. There's this.
Oh, wait, no. If he violently assaults you without a prior verbal order, that is assault.
We'll agree to disagree on that. Like I said, I didn't see the video. I don't know the situation why this guy left 3 rocks on a table. What the deputy told him. I don't have much confidence in what McManus puts out there.
Especially if they represent your family, you shouldn't leave them behind.
Exactly.
Hold on, let me ask No Name a question. No Name, who was your biggest fan?
Oh, no, you don't want me to talk about that channel.
Who is your, no, not that channel. Who has been pushing you to create a YouTube channel because you're really intelligent?
Oh, you are. You are.
Who has been nothing but love and respectful to you?
You are. You are.
Thank you. Stop stirring shit up, Beanie. Sorry. Matt, go ahead.
No, I didn't say anything.
All right. So, Joe, thanks for. So, are we good like No Name, or is there another topic you want to bring up?
Oh, no, I think I finished it. I talked about the Pinellas County Sheriff running thing and Eric Brandt and Oh, wait, no. There's a fourth thing I'd love to touch on is Otto the Watchdog.
Okay.
Felony camping.
Yes, I know all about this personally.
What's your take on that, Officer Oak? If you're aware of that case.
That's an
I watched
oxymoron.
the arrest. I didn't see everything else behind it.
I saw the arrest live, and I saw them fucking him up so many times. That was a year ago, and it's still not solved.
Yeah, no, they also want to help get him out of jail that day, the next day.
I know you did. Thank you.
I felt really bad for his kids.
All right.
They don't get to see their daddy anymore for a year now, I think.
I sent you an email.
All right, so are there any magical words that we can use for like a get out of jail free card in the future?
Yes, just say I know Officer Oak, and we'll know exactly.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah,
So-
name dropping didn't seem to help me out last time. They spit mess and strip me.
Does anybody have any other questions before we wrap up? I know CFW has a video. She wants you to play 30 seconds. 30 seconds to 2 minutes.
Hey,
You guys can-
Sancho.
Yeah.
So I just dropped a link in the chat.
Jesus.
So just no. It's not for you to play.
Okay.
It's not. I'm just telling the chat that was the original dash cam video of the situation that was recreated that we all watched. If anybody wants to go watch it on their own time later, they can.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Yes, yeah, it's pretty gruesome. So
I want to address something that CFW said earlier before we go regarding why they cops saturate bad neighborhoods. That's where the crime is. Does crime happen in all neighborhoods?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And how did the crime get created? Who created the crime?
Can I finish?
Yeah, let them finish.
Oh, sure.
Okay. I don't know what a lot of states call it. I know New York State calls it ComStats, community statistics, and they base their saturation of officers based on where crimes are committed. So if there's a higher number of reports of crime in Avenue A through Z, they're going to saturate that area. Oak and Matt can speak more to this than I can of how their agencies determine where officers are placed at higher numbers, but that's why you'll see a high number of officers in certain areas.
I knew that. But also, I was just asking you as a follow-up question: is who created all the crime in those neighborhoods?
Not us. How do we create it?
How come the crime keeps occurring in those neighborhoods?
If I knew that, I wouldn't have a job. I mean,
is it because
there's bad guys?
Well, the bad guys get picked up by if you're only policing the black neighborhoods, right? But isn't that the only people you're going to arrest are blacks? And then when they get out, they're gonna be hassled because it's just you guys are only policing the black neighborhoods.
That's not true.
I don't think there's any such thing as a black neighborhood.
Yes, there is.
Can I ask?
Yes, there is. Oh my gosh.
Can I ask this?
Yeah.
Are the generally speaking, is there a racist bias in the police against minorities?
There is not.
No. You're 22 years old. You don't even have any life experiences.
CFW.
That was rude.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Just because I'm 22 years old, CFW, shut your mouth for a second, okay? All right.
Oh, okay.
So, just because I'm 22 years old, yes, I recognize I have limited life experience. However, I just got out of college, all right? I received a bunch of classes, and then on top of that, from my department and the training that I did in college, because I also did my police academy training in college, of anti-bias training and because that is a big thing now today because of all the, basically, for a lack of a better word, shitstorm that's gone on in, policing around, issues of racial profiling, racial bias, all that stuff that goes back, into the 90s and the 80s and everything like that. And then before with the civil rights movement and everything, so we now, we're required to every year, we're required to do training on that kind of stuff.
Okay,
You're mandated by the state as well as by our departments to do training on that.
So training in a classroom, right?
Yes.
You have actual training of walking by yourself alone at midnight in a black neighborhood and talking to gangsters. gangbangers.
Well, what's that have to do with anything? You're asking about bias. You're asking about prejudice and bias. Just because you put a white cop, I'm sorry, let me finish this real quick, Oak. Just because you put a white officer in a black neighborhood or a black area, does that make him racist? Would you rather?
What about the black people? Don't you think the black people might be racist against the white guy?
I can't control that.
They haven't had training. The blacks haven't had the training.
I can't answer that though, Caroline.
There you go.
You asked us if there was a racial bias in the police department.
I didn't ask you that.
I did.
I said this youngin right here is training in a classroom to walk into a black neighborhood by himself at midnight and go talk to some gangbangers.
Well, I don't think
training in the classroom equates to life experiences. I think he's really, really, really young, and I don't think.
In response to what CFW was saying, it's I think it was CFW saying it's a vicious cycle. You put in, there's more crime over there. You put in more cops. You put in more cops, they're gonna find more crime. They find more crime, they're gonna put in more cops, and suddenly this place is over. Police is detrimental. Blah blah blah. You can't get out of that.
We've had this talk before.
Cycle.
Me and Jeff had this talk before. That's why the blacks are really, really do not like the police.
Can I get knee deep into it?
Balls deep.
So I wouldn't call it black neighborhoods. I'd call it poverty-stricken neighborhoods, which unfortunately are predominantly black.
I like that.
There are white people in these neighborhoods. Okay, there are Korean people. There's everybody in these neighborhoods.
Agree.
I wouldn't just call it a black neighborhood. There are good people, very good people, better people that live in these neighborhoods than what live in the rich neighborhoods. Some of the rich neighborhoods have much worse people inside of them. And to say that it's just because it's a black neighborhood and this is where all the bad people are is wrong. And I don't think. Well, hang on. I don't think you should just put more officers there to find crime. You should put more officers there for community outreach and to meet and learn these people.
I beg them for that.
If you put me in the hood at midnight, I'm gonna have more friends there than I'm gonna have enemies because even the bad people there like me.
Yes. All you got to do is stay out your car, and when a person come up, you rap with them. You'll be the most popular cat in the neighborhood.
But we all said that a long time ago.
Yep.
You should be the local hero. You're not the local hero, but the local celebrity. Yeah, I might arrest you today, but we're cool.
You should be climbing that train, getting that cat out of there.
If you ask for information, what went here, what happened there, you wouldn't have to ask. Motherfuckers know who to run to at that shit because now they trust you and all of that shit.
And we all agree with that, Joe. We said that probably about 45 minutes ago.
Why are they training? That's not what they're doing to train. They're not training these kids like this.
I mean, we got obviously I'm one. There's only one Officer Oak. I wish there were more. If more Officer Oaks can step up and and people can be open-minded to be friends with cops and we can be friends with people. It's not the police. It's not the police versus society, and it should never be.
I'll say something. I mean,
wait, Joe, it's my turn. I am only against bad cops. If you have free reporting of bad cops, I think that is awesome. And me, look at me. I took 100 pounds of bomb-making equipment through the airports in Desert Storm times before the TSA was there. And they looked at me and said, "Oh, no. No, honey, don't even unstrap that from the thing. You can go right through. Beep, 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 beep." I had a EEPROM programmer, a logic analyzer, a bunch of tips, a bunch of wires. I don't know if you know the other things I needed, but I do. But see, no, I was going to a meat packing plant in Nebraska to make the weigh scales go.
My girl. Thanks for jumping in like that, No Name. Thank you. That's what I told you earlier you had to do. Just jump in and take the microphone sometimes. There you go. Show down those muscles.
That's
So, hey,
that
let me,
was the thing.
let me,
I'm like Rosie the Riveter.
That's my bodyguard for all you women who are coming after Sancho. No Name is my bodyguard, right? No Name.
Officer Oak, do you think they're getting that kind of training that you're speaking of in college?
so,
I'm
all right,
sorry.
so
Do
let
you
me.
think they're getting that kind of training you're speaking of? And where's Mr. McGruff? I mean, where's the McGruff the puppet? Why are they not teaching this young man?
I'm sorry, Carolyn. I don't understand. I can't hear you.
Okay, my bad.
Unfortunately,
Okay, shut up,
all
Dad.
right,
Okay, Officer Oak, do you
Matt,
think that they're giving that kind of training in college now, or do you think they're still relying on
CFW,
Oh,
CFW. Hang on, guys. Hang on. Matt had something to say. Can we let Matt answer, and then we'll go back to that.
Matt, go ahead.
All right. So as far as like the community outreach and stuff goes, like our my department especially, we are really pushing the community. I mean, we have an officer that's his sole job is he organizes community events and everything like that. And my training officer has told me in person, because we do foot patrols and stuff like that at my department. We go out and actually get to know, especially business owners, stuff like that. We try to get our faces out there so that way people know who we are and everything else. So, I mean, that's something that they're actively encouraging us to do, and that's
Going back
something.
to that. That's cool. Do you wear bulletproof vest while you're doing that?
Well, yeah, I'm wearing my uniform.
The bulletproof vest is part of our uniform. We wear that everywhere we go, no matter what. CFW. I don't know if that answers the question you had for me.
I'm really afraid of this attitude of this thing of not hesitating.
I'm sorry. To one of the officers, if I'm with you and you're a cop, it's obvious that you're a cop. And you reach in your car for something, we arguing for something, you reach in your car. Do I get to shoot you and kill you?
Play my video, Sancho.
No. I mean, unless you can articulate some reason why you would
could have
think
had
that
a
I was
gun.
going for something. Well, I have a gun on my hip.
You ran.
I've always got a gun.
Yeah, say we've always got a gun on our hip.
Hey, but
Yeah,
is he
yes, I
allowed
was going to say,
to
let's
run
assume the gun is not on your hip. It's obviously your cop.
I've always got at least one on my hip and usually one on my car.
I mean, I can't wrap my head around.
Let's go with that crazy situation. No matter how much it sounds, I know you're a cop, and we get into a little shoving match. Nothing serious. You be like, what? You run to your car, and as soon as you open that door, I shoot you dead. Do I get to do that?
No.
All right. Does the cop get to do it because that guy just did it to so and so to Blake?
Well, the thing is there it could be yes. I mean, if like I'm not acting in my official duties and like my gun for some reason isn't working and I'm going to shoot you anyways.
You're asking hypotheticals that are just so far out there, Joe. We can't even wrap our minds around it.
I mean, I'm worried about this not hesitating, and that's why I wanted El Sancho to play the video.
These are perfect. It just got good.
Wait, Joe's wasn't a crazy analogy.
Let's just go with this.
It wasn't a crazy analogy. Yeah, Matt, are you able to answer that? Matt or Oak, are you guys able to run with that?
There's so much unsaid.
All right, aren't you guys' life worth more than mine in these scenarios? If you can kill a motherfucker because you feel your life is in jeopardy, I need the same rights.
Play the video.
Carolyn, just relax about the video. We'll watch the video in a minute.
Okay.
Joe, the situation with Jacob Blake, they were fighting with the guy on the ground for 2 or 3 minutes. They tased him twice. The guy gets up, walks away with a knife in his hand, go towards his car. They try to put hands on him again. Unfortunately, they were sweaty. His shirt stretched. He reaches in his car. Again, you have this misconception that we have to wait to be attacked or shot. We do not.
Listen, let's stop addressing that. You assume I have that misconception. And I
That's
keep
what you said, though,
telling
buddy.
I am aware of what you are allowed to do.
Right.
I have no misconception that it's immoral. I'm arguing that it's immoral and you still do it because someone told you it was okay, gave you a route to do it. And you're trying to push that route on me and say, see, it's okay to murder niggas, Joe, and do horrible shit because it's legal in Tennessee by 5107. I think you cats are as insane as you think I am.
That's exactly right, Joe.
No, not at all. But I don't think it's immoral to protect myself.
I think it's immoral to go through all these exceptions. Well, if he was 6 feet away, he could have pulled this and that. Yours must be the same as mine. And then we can start talking. If I have the same abilities you do, then we can start talking. And because I'm me, I'm going to ask you to be more patient than the average civilian. You certainly can't pull your gun quicker. I'm going to ask you because you're a cop, you're going to be held to a higher standard. I expect more of you. You're trained. You're going to be more patient, not a more perfect killer machine. You're going to be better at that shit.
They're trained not to hesitate.
I'm going in that direction.
Joe Cool, you're beating up on all the other people here.
But he's beating up. No, Joe, they're trained not to hesitate. And that's why so many of them are getting.
They're trained and they want to sell that to other people. That immoral, evil ass shit. Look at it. Here's the evil, the simple thing. If I can't do it, it's not okay for you to do it. I don't care who's been telling you that, how long, what school you went to. That's simple logic. If you don't want it for me, you can't have it either. I don't care if someone tells you yes, it's okay because. That's simple.
Joe, I gave you a scenario earlier, and I suggested it, and you refused to do it. Go to some training. Go through one of the scenarios.
I want to do it. I don't want to be affiliated with Sancho. I am thoroughly interested, but let's.
You don't want to be affiliated with me?
Okay.
Why not?
You scared me. You scared me.
What's wrong with being affiliated with me?
He didn't say affiliated. He said opinionated, not affiliated.
How did I scare you?
Like, hey, bro, that's one of my channel. I immediately thought this has the bad roots. I can't do it.
Opinionated.
No, I'm just gonna go out of my way to set something up. I wanted to use it on my channel, my guy. That's reasonable.
I was with you when you first went off, and when you said channel, it's like I got shot in the leg.
I might be able to. I might dox myself trying to set this up. I put it on my channel.
We're both in agreement because I don't want you to dox yourself.
So my idea. Why can't it be on my channel? It's my idea. Jesus Christ! What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
He said affiliated, opinionated, not affiliated. You missed the word. He said opinionated, not affiliated.
I don't know what to feel. I don't know.
I was thoroughly interested in the idea, and I plan on looking into it. And I already know enough fucking cops where this would not be a fucking problem.
Jumps right over me. See how that is?
You're gonna love my video that Sancho's fixing to play.
Why is he here again? Anyone?
Joe Cool said that's a great idea. I think I'll steal it.
Sancho, I'm gonna beg all of you cats on panel. Sancho, if you can play the video I'll drop today before those guys.
Right now.
I don't want them to think I'm a dick.
It's everything you just said.
Carolina, Fort Worth, and I've got something behind my back that is so fierce and so dangerous. If I get caught in Dallas with it, they will shoot me on sight. Are you ready to see what it is? It's a screwdriver. Yeah, a screwdriver. Before there was Floyd, there was Harrison. So check out this adventure from Carolina and Fort Worth.
So, Caroline, your contention is you can't be killed by a screwdriver?
You what?
Your contention is you can't be killed by a screwdriver.
I don't think. Well, if you're specifically trained with mentally insane people to go to the hospital, and you're already trained with mentally ill people, and you go to this house before,
and he attacks the officer. I've seen this video repeatedly several times.
You have?
And they attacks the officer with a screwdriver.
How you doing, man? What's going on?
I remember seeing it. I don't remember, but I know I saw it. He was mentally handicapped or something, right?
He was. He had mental
Drop that for me again.
No, can't kill him, no.
Okay, Sancho, I've had enough for the night, buddy. I'm dropping off. I'll get with you later.
Whoa, is that because of me?
No, it's just.
I'm going to wrap up soon, too.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've been going 3.5 hours.
All right, I thought it was what I said.
Are you mad at me?
No, I'm not mad at you. I don't agree with you.
I'm sorry you're mad at me.
I'm not mad. I don't know you to be mad at you. Carolyn, I don't know you to be mad at you.
I mean, you're just a
Put the screwdriver down.
All right. CFW, is that
I didn't mean to
enough?
make you mad. Yeah, I
Carolina,
didn't
for
mean
the
to make
fifth
you mad.
time.
What?
For the sixth time, I'm not mad at you. Okay, I think
Okay.
your one-dimensional thinking is very jaded. A
I'm
screwdriver is
changing
just
ideas.
a screwdriver is just as deadly as any other weapon, and it can kill you or cause great bodily harm, and that's what the law interprets it as. So it gets
I
frustrating to
would
have the
agree.
same argument that you want to
Look
give
at
a
No
scenario.
Name.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Lo.
I'll say, look at No Name. She's doing it right now.
I'm gonna shoot No Name, and she's got scissors. So I mean, like again, Caroline, I gave you the same scenario I gave Joe, and I think it's great. Joe's going to do it. I believe Joe will do it. Go to your local PD, do some scenarios.
Now I get high a lot. I'll forget before the night's over. Sancho or someone will have to text me CFW and be like, "Remember that shit we talked about last night?"
It'll be on the 3.5 hour fucking video.
Damn it, my video froze, but
I
they
can't.
screwdriver.
Any
I'm
chance
sorry.
I
What'd you
can
say,
get
Caroline?
you cast
I
to
think
see
the
it, I don't know
video
the last
froze.
couple.
No, it doesn't. The video doesn't bother. I've seen the video. We've seen it in training. The video doesn't bother me. Your lack of knowledge and wanting to interpret what an officer should do is insulting. I understand everyone has perception. I understand you don't think we should do certain things. No, my life's not better than yours. My life's not worth more than yours. But I'm going home at night.
But not you. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the other guys that aren't like thinking like you do.
But all officers are saying the same thing. They want to go home at night too.
Right.
And mental
Me
health.
as well. You're okay with me not having a gun and not going home at night? You got a million
I'm not
reasons why it's
going
okay
to
for me
redress
too.
that. But mental
Oh,
health
my
is
man,
a huge.
no, you're right. You ain't got to go no further. If we hash that shit out, there's no
Right.
need to go.
Mental
You're
health
right.
is a huge thing in law enforcement. We all know that. We do the best they can in those situations. However, with that said,
I don't have one dimensional thinking. I was just exchanging ideas
all right,
with you.
Sancho, I'm done for the night, buddy. You have a good time. I'll talk to you later this
I
weekend.
appreciate you.
No
All right,
problem.
guys.
See you later, Harry.
Yep.
I'm going to wrap up as well.
Love, baby.
Want to thank everybody for tuning in and apologize
Thank
for
you
those
for
being
having me,
affiliated
Sancho.
with me tonight. And everybody have a good night. And thank you for tuning in to All Sancho.
All right.